Five, four, 3, 2, 1. It's a pleasure to have all of you here. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you.
म अघि नै हाम्रो कन्भर्सेसन हुँदाखेरि पनि यो अब सिए सरले भनिसकेपछि होइन म आइल कोट यु अन दिस है अलमोस्ट $1 million सिटिङ इन दिस रुम होइन or can I say a billion? I know I don't know which dollar figure to go ahead and quote. I know, but I'll just leave it to that. Thank you for coming. I'll go ahead and start off. We've never done this before in the podcast, so we're going to do this for the first time as well. I'll be introducing everybody. I'll just see a gist of it so that our listeners can go ahead and get a feel for our guest today. Rohit, thank you very much for being here, and it's a pleasure to have you with us. Rohit is the managing partner for Televentures, as well as vice president of CNI and vice chairman of Ramesh Corp. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you for having me here.
And I'll switch. I'll make your life easier as well. I'll go clockwise. Tenzin, it's a pleasure to have you with us as well. Tenzin is the founder and CEO of Team Ventures. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sanjay.
Doc Sahabलाई म चिनाइहाल्छु. He's the managing partner for Global Equity Fund. There's so many other things that I could say, but I will run out of time. So, Manish sir, it's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you, Sanjay.
Managing Director of Adyanta. He's the co-founder and Managing Director of Adyanta. Thank you very much for being here, Manoj. It's a pleasure to have you with us. And Head Corporation Advisory, as well as Head of Finance and Administration, Himalayan Capital. Mooja, it's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.
We I met majority of you a couple of days back at the CNI event, and first of all, I personally want to go ahead and appreciate what you've done, the amount of rupees the dollar figure that you've given, especially to the startups who really needed it. That's how I am going to go ahead and portray it right in the beginning. Thank you for doing that, and thank you for showing the rest of the country that yes, we have people in the country who will support startups like Dark Matter Productions. I'll specifically take that name because there was a very young team. जुन टिमलाई चाहिँ मैले पनि कल्पना गरेको थिएन कि त्यो साथीहरूले चाहिँ हुन्छ नि होइन त्यो 1.5 करोड इफ आइएम नट मिस्टेकन होइन रुपियाँ चाहिँ उहाँहरूले चाहिँ पाउनुहुन्छ भनेर होइन अनि म यति खुसी थिएँ क्या आफै पनि कि त्यो आफै पनि त्यो ताली बजाएर बसिरहेको थिएँ हुन्छ नि द्याट इट वाज सच अ proud moment to stand in that podium and to see those young people and their eyes flashing when they received the X amount of money. Thank you for doing that. Thank you. Combined. Thank you very much for that. And it's a door that has opened. That's how I'm going to say. That's how I saw, and I'm going to say because after that day, in a span of a couple of days, I saw other big organizations in Nepal, supporting startups in a very massive scale. And it just an opening. And thank you for doing that. And thank you very much for coming over to the podcast. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. I kind of want to get started, and I want anybody can jump in. It's a free for all podcast. I'm a fool. I like to go ahead and say it that way. Let's start off with a couple of things. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it, and then anybody can jump in and kind of explain it to our listeners. So I'll say these two words, and anybody can feel free to jump in. Private equity भने के हो त? Private equity भनेर हामी जुन यो शब्द दुईटा शब्द सुन्छौँ नि हैन यो शब्द एक्ज्याक्टली के हो? Anybody feel free jump in.
How about we start with the professor first?
Done. Let's do it. All right. Thank you, Tenzin. Private equity.
So private equity is basically investor investing into equity is private equity, right? So it's basically a pool of capital. Basically, for example, bank. We know bank. When you go to bank, there are two things that banks do. One is deposit, and another is lending. So bank basically gives you the credit. Whereas in private equity, we give our equity. We become the partner in equity. So that is the the basic concept of private equity. Not only as a private equity we provide capital, but there is also technical expertise and other aspect that we support the business in, because it becomes also our business, and we grow that business. But one thing in private equity is different from other investor is we are a investor for a limited period of time. We cannot be a long life, investor or shareholder of that company. We basically, come out from that company. Basically, we go into that company, we invest into a company, we grow that company, and then we exit that company. So there is also a time period in terms of how much time that we become a part of that company. So that is a private equity.
Very, very interesting. Now, there's another other three words, and again, anybody can feel free and jump in and explain this as well. एकदम त्यो आजकल रोल हुन थालेको शब्दहरू हो कि यिनीहरू होइन भेन्चर क्यापिटल फन्ड्स भनेर भन्छन् होइन भेन्चर क्यापिटल भनेर भन्छन् नि होइन just give a gist of what exactly is a venture capital. Anybody feel free. Tenzin, go for it. Go for it.
Sure. So basically, as Manish ji has said, just to add on actually, so private equity is just a form of alternative capital, right? So as we're all aware, banks provide capital, and so do private investors also provide capital. So private equity is a kind of private capital that you're investing into companies, but as Manish ji said, there's a kind of definitive exit plan, right? So typically it could be 5 years, 7 years, and so on. And venture capitals, in some ways, is quite similar in that it's private capital being invested in companies. I think kind of to put in a small way, the main distinguishing factor is typically venture capital is for more early stage companies, and private equity is for more growth capital. So let's say, Sanjay, you have a brilliant idea, right? But that idea has not been tested. It's just at ideation stage. So typically, it's very unlikely that Manish ji's private equity firm will approach you. They might say, wonderful, but you're a little early for us, because you've not proven your revenue model, so on and so forth. And you'd be better off probably than approaching venture capital firms. So both are similar in that generally like managers, fund managers are people who are smart, financially savvy with industrial experience. The difference is that venture capitals typically have a higher risk appetite because you're typically investing much early on, right?
Yeah.
I think private equity minimum, they won't invest in companies typically before at least 3 years of operations, because in 3 years you would have probably shown certain revenue, or you could be loss making, but there could be a certain path towards profitability, right? So there's that difference in risk appetite. I think generally speaking, venture capitalists should have a higher risk appetite than private equity. But both are private forms of capital, basically. So that's the similarity.
Thank you very much for sharing that with everybody. I'm trying to figure out हुन्छ नि मलाई कति वर्ष लाग्ने रहेछ त कसकोमा जानलाई भनेर मैले figure out गर्दै थिएँ होइन. Let's get started with Mooja. Tell everybody a little bit about Himalayan Capital. Share with us individually. I'll come to each company. Tell everybody a little bit about Himalayan Capital.
So Himalayan Capital has been formed as a merchant bank, what we call in Nepal, right? We're regulated by the Securities Board of Nepal, and हामीले चाहिँ issue management देखि लिएर company was trying to like secure capital, go public, उहाँहरूलाई चाहिँ issue management देखि लिएर underwriting, you're applying IPOs, right, Sanjay ji? Yeah, so the IPOs that you apply from your demat account or your mirror share accounts, right? So those accounts we manage. Bank account भने जस्तै हाम्रो चाहिँ demat र mirror share accountsहरू हुन्छ, right? And for example, you want to invest, you have 10 lakhs of, just a hypothetical figure, right?
Sure.
You want to invest in the share markets, but since due to your work responsibilities, you cannot take track of the market, or you do not have enough knowledge about the market, then you give that money to us and we manage on your behalf. So we create a separate bank account, a separate demat account, and we do that. And then that's called Portfolio Management Services, PMS. And the other part of our services is corporate advisory, where we grow with other companies, right? Companies from anything, like people who haven't even registered, right, their companies. They have an idea, they want to do business, but they're not fully aware about the legal things in the country. So we basically guide them. म आफै गएर पनि कम्पनी रेजिस्ट्रारमा 2-3 कम्पनी आफै MOA, AOA सबै बनाएर रेजिस्टर गरेको छु हैन. So that's the kind of involvement that we have with the company. We sit with them, we discuss their marketing strategy, what the special strengths they have, right? And then we help them run their business, because we believe that when you're an entrepreneur, there's something that you can do perfectly, right? You have an expertise. That's why you have started a business. तर तपाईँलाई म्यानेजमेन्टको केसेसमा जुन लिगल रिक्वायरमेन्ट्सहरू हुन्छ त्यो सबै नआउन पनि सक्छ एन्ड इट्स नट नेसेसरी द्याट यु नो अल दिस थिङ्स बिकज यु हायर सम वान टु डु दोज थिङ्स
Yeah.
राइट सो वी हेल्प बिजनेसेस म्यानेज दोज एस्पेक्ट्स अनि रिसेन्टली चाहिँ वी हेभ स्टेप इन टु प्राइभेट इक्विटी भेन्चर क्यापिटल विथ आवर जेनरस फ्रेन्ड्स हियर एन्ड वी आर होपिङ टु एक्सप्यान्ड अन द्याट राउट एज वेल
There was a, while you were saying this, Mooja, there was a specific thing that somebody who I kind of admire, when it comes to business vyapar. I'm not a vyapari, but it's always fun to watch shows. And there was a thing that Mark Cuban had said that I'll never forget for the rest of my life. He said, first thing you do in business, one of the first things you do in business is, once you're an entrepreneur, you hire your weaknesses. Okay? आफूलाई नथाहा पाएको कुरा चाहिँ होइन आफूलाई नआउने कुरा इफ आइम करेक्ट मी इफ आइम रङ इन दिस होइन नथाहा पाएको कुरा चाहिँ यु क्यान नआउने कुरा जसले राम्रो गर्न सक्छ उहाँलाई हायर गर्नु भनेर चाहिँ मार्क क्युबनले भनेको चाहिँ मलाई अहिलेसम्म त्यो ठ्याक्क वाइल यु वर सेयिङ दिस होइन द्याट वाज रिङ्गिङ इन माई ब्याक अफ माई इयर समवेयर होइन सो हिमालयन क्यापिटल is definitely going to help out entrepreneurs in every aspect?
Yeah, we're helping entrepreneurs in different stages. Like any company start हुनु अगाडिको entrepreneursदेखि लिएर those who are already mature एउटा लेभलमा पुगिसक्नु भयो होइन उहाँलाई फन्डिङको केसेसमा स्ट्राटेजिजहरूको केसेसमा इभन हेल्पिङ to get a team together like recruitmentको केसेसमा पनि we're helping out in all aspects.
Great, good. I'm really glad. Thank you very much for being here, and we will definitely jump back. Go for it, Manoj. I know you're excited. I know. त्यो पहिला नाम नै थोरै बुझाउन त सबैजनालाई.
ओके सुरु हुनुभन्दा अगाडि पनि हामीले नामको कुरा गऱ्यौँ होइन सो धेरै आउने क्वेसन हो आद्यन्त भनेको के हो कसरी भन्ने कुरा सो अघि पनि अब कुरा गऱ्यौँ प्राइभेट इक्विटी भेन्चर क्यापिटल के भन्ने होइन अनि यसमा चाहिँ हामीले कुनै पनि एन्टरप्राइज अथवा प्रोजेक्ट चाहिँ सुरु जस्तै सिड स्टेज होला त्यसपछि अर्ली स्टेजमा जान्छ मिड स्टेज होला लेट स्टेज होइन मच्योर होला सो त्यो ओभरअल होल लाइफ साइकलमा हामीले सपोर्ट गर्न सक्ने खालको यस्तो एउटा इन्स्टिट्युसन बनाऊँ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ अघि भने सुरु भयो होइन सुरुदेखि अन्तसम्म चाहिँ हामीले सपोर्ट गर्ने के हुन सक्ला भन्दा नाम सोध्दै जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ आद्यन्त भन्ने नाम आयो अनि संस्कृतको नाम अलिकति रुटेड हाम्रो उसमा भनेर चाहिँ त्यो नाम हामीले रोजियो अर्को चाहिँ फेरि पछि के थाहा पायो भने आद्यन्त प्रभु भन्ने पनि हुँदो रहेछ इन्ट्रेस्टिङली होइन आद्यन्त भनेको चाहिँ अनि आदि गणेश आदि चाहिँ हनुमान होइन सो गणेश सिम्बलाइजेस एकदम अस्पिसियस राम्रो सक्सेस होइन अझ वेल्थ प्रस्पेरिटी भनौँ तर फेरि त्यसको लागि चाहिँ हनुमान पनि बन्नु कसरी भन्दाखेरि काम गर्नुपर्ने मेहनत गर्नुपर्ने ब्रेभरी देखाउनु पर्ने होइन सो आई थिङ्क त्यो होल स्टोरी अब हामी एस्पिरेसन छ नेपालीको यङ नेपालीको यहाँ पुग्ने भनेर तर त्यसको लागि जुन मेहनत गर्नुपर्छ काम गर्नुपर्छ नि सो आई थिङ्क त्यो होल कन्सेप्ट चाहिँ यसले क्याप्चर गर्छ भनेर त्यो नाम राख्यो आद्यन्त भनेर
And please tell everybody a little bit about your company.
Sure. So आद्यन्तको स्टोरी चाहिँ अब आफ्नै स्टोरीसँग लिङ्क छ मेरो होइन म एज अ अब इकोनोमिस्ट बाई ब्याकग्राउन्ड म यता इन्भेस्टमेन्ट बोर्डमा काम गरिरहेको थिएँ विदिन गभर्मेन्ट अफ नेपाल त्योभन्दा अगाडि चाहिँ अलिअलि नेपाल काठमाडौँ बाहिर गाउँहरूमा जाने मान्छेहरूले के कसो गरिरहेछन् के छ भनेर अलिकति त्यहाँको रियल कुरा थाहा पाउने त्यो चाहिँ एउटा मौका मिल्यो अनि केही समय चाहिँ एउटा कमर्सियल ब्याङ्कको बोर्डमा अझै पनि छु त्यहाँ बोर्डमा चाहिँ बसेर हेरिरहेको थिएँ कि कसरी चाहिँ फङ्सन गर्छ ब्याङ्क्सहरूले कसले चाहिँ पाउँदो रहेछ त लोन के को आधारमा पाउँदो रहेछ भनेर सो के देख्यो भने चाहिँ धेरै चाहिँ जोसँग छ उसैले पाउने जस्तो देख्यो कि अनि आई वाजन्ट भेरी सेटिस्फाइड विथ द्याट अनि देयर आर डिफ्रेन्ट त्यो अघि फन्डिङको कुरा गऱ्यौँ जस्तै हामी यो काठमाडौँ बाहिर गएर सोध्यो भने के यो प्राइभेट कहाँ काम गर्छस् के गर्छस् भन्दाखेरि प्राइभेट इक्विटी भनेर सम्झाउँदाखेरि कति रुपियाँ दिन्छस् कति रेटमा भन्ने हुन्छ नि त होइन सो अघि मनिषले पनि भन्नुभयो जस्तै यो एज अ पार्टनरभित्र छिर्ने होइन सो अलिक फरक कन्सेप्ट छ अनि अब यत्रो इन्स्टिट्युसन्सहरू छन् मान्छेहरू छन् फन्ड नभएको होइन तर यसलाई चाहिँ यो लोनमा मात्रै फोकस भन्दा पनि अरू नयाँ खालको कुरामा पनि फोकस गरौँ भनेर इक्विटी फोकस कसरी हुन सकिन्छ भनेर सोच्दै चाहिँ त्यही बेला ठ्याक्कै गभर्मेन्टले यो 2075 विक्रम सम्वतमा स्पेसलाइज इन्भेस्टमेन्ट फन्ड रेगुलेसन्स भनेर पहिलोचोटि नेपालमा अल्टरनेटिभ इन्भेस्टमेन्ट फन्डमा चाहिँ यो अलिकति ओपन गर्न खोज्यो होइन सो ठ्याक्कै त्यो टाइमिङ पनि मिल्यो अनि हामीले के गर्यौँ भने ल ठिक छ त्यसो भए ब्याङ्क्सहरूलाई पनि अन बोर्ड ल्याउँ दुईटा ब्याङ्क सरकारले ब्याक गरेको ब्याङ्कहरू पनि प्राइभेट ब्याङ्क्स पनि देन प्रोफेसनल्स देन सम हाई नेटवर्थ इन्डिभिजुअल्स एज वेल अनि यसलाई चाहिँ एउटा फन्ड म्यानेजमेन्ट कम्पनी दर्ता गरौँ जोसँग आफैमा पुरै फन्ड हुने त होइन तर उसले चाहिँ मार्केटबाट फन्ड रेज गर्छ जुन अनयुटिलाइज फन्ड हुन्छ त्यसलाई रेज गर्छ र त्यो चाहिँ केमा लगाउँछ भने अन्टरप्रिनर्सहरू एन्टरप्राइजेस र प्रोजेक्ट्सहरूमा लगाउँछ होइन सो त्यो कन्सेप्टले चाहिँ हामीले आद्यन्त सुरु गरे हो अनि 2 वर्ष भयो अघि भने जस्तो 1 वर्ष भयो एक्चुअली तर कन्सेप्चुलाइज लास्ट 2 इयर्सदेखि गरिरहेको ठ्याक्कै लकडाउन कोही बेलामा हो होइन सो त्यही हो अहिले हामीलाई 2टा गभर्मेन्ट ब्याङ्क कृषि र वाणिज्य ब्याङ्कले ब्याकअप गर्नुभएको छ अनि प्राइभेट लक्ष्मी ब्याङ्क आई थिङ्क तपाईँ पनि बोर्डमा हुनुहुन्छ लक्ष्मी ब्याङ्कको सनराइज देन प्रोफेसनल्सहरू छौँ र त्यसपछि हाई नेटवर्थ इन्डिभिजुअल्सहरू छौँ
Perfect. I'll come to Rohit later on to give us a little bit of difference between development and infrastructure bank because it falls in your portfolio if I'm not mistaken. You know? I'll definitely come to that. Global Equity Fund, Maisha, Thore, if you could just explain it to everybody.
हाम्रो मनोजीले भने जस्तो हामी पनि एसआइएफ अन्तर्गत नै बसेर मेरो विषयमा सबभन्दा पहिलो एसआइएफको रेगुलेसन मार्च 2019 मा आएको थियो भने हामी अप्रिल 2019 मा चाहिँ we were the first one to basically apply for the license. It's been 3 years. We've been fighting with the regulators as well as with the government. We've already seen 3 chairmen of the SEBON, which regulate us, as well as 3 finance minister. I don't know. I think we'll have another 4th one very soon.
Hopefully.
So exactly the same concept. Hamroma चाहिँ नि it's a professionals and 2 business houses. One is Ketan Group, the other one is BLC, Basant Chaudhary's. And 2 insurance companies. So this is, the established enterprise with the insurance companies backup and the professionals. So two established, and we kind of structured this.
I'll just let me move on to Tenzin and then I'll come back to you for a few things. Tenzin, please share with everybody a little bit about your organization.
Sure. So I'm running a company called Televentures. Basically, I think like to describe ourselves as an alternative investment company. The reason I use the word alternative is all these things that we're discussing so far are still very preliminary in Nepal, right? We're
Exactly.
you were telling like, go basics because, so much of your following for your podcast is young people and these terms that we're throwing around might be very new for them, right? And I don't blame them because it's new for Nepal. It's just not new for them, right? So we're alternative investment company because we do alternative investments like private equity deals, like venture capital. But I think a little different from others is also we also sometimes invest permanent capital. So remember Manish, you were saying typically a pure private equity will obviously not invest permanent capital because they have an entry and exit plan, 5-7 years typical. So because my investors are all local investors, so high net worth individuals, no institutional investors. And so in the end, my bosses are my investors, obviously, right? Clearly. And so when we build our investment portfolio, that is Televentures, so we built our investment portfolio in different asset classes such that some are private equity venture capital, which are risk prone, right? So I could invest in early stage companies like the ones we're committed to investing, right? Those might do well, may not, right? We cannot be 100% sure. That's part of being in this space, right? PE and VC, we call it, private equity venture capital. And there is risk, keep in mind, like it might sound nice and all cool, there's a lot of risk involved. That's why to balance out our portfolio, for example, we have investments in different asset classes, including we can say PE and VC is one type of asset class, startups, growth capital, so on. We also have a real estate company, and then we invest in public shares also. Right. So we have different asset classes, and the reason we have that is because I think we can all agree on this table that
balance,
just balance in everything in life is good, including in investments. So that's our philosophy.
Perfect. Rohit, share a little bit about Televentures.
So Televentures, I think we started Televentures around 2015 or 16. So we were into mobile phones, consumer durables, and technology business, as a part of our own business that I was handling. So what happened during that time was there was a surge in e-commerce demand. A lot of e-commerce websites were coming up. They were selling mobile phones and other consumer durables and other stuff. So we thought, why not look out, seek out in the market and tie up with similar e-commerce portals wherein we can also have some equity investment and we can use that to also leverage the business. So we started off our first investment was in Sasto deal. So we were early stage, investors. So you spoke about PE, you spoke about VC. We were like angel investors. So there's something called angel investment, wherein you invest in a company within wherein the founders need a seed capital. When they have an idea, they have like little seed capital that they put, and they seek out for an investor. So we angel invested in Sastorial. I think they were around second or third year, in their journey. So we like the moon. We like these plans. In Nepal, there was a lot of e-commerce traction going on. So that is how we actually started Televentures Partners Limited, and we started off our journey like that. And since then, we have not been very aggressive with our investments because a lot of things have been going on in the market, and we have been waiting for the right kind of climate and opportunity. So this fest was, I think, was a very good opportunity. Like wherein 5 investors like got together, and we are like we give a mandate to invest in those companies, and we are now really looking forward to work with other investors here to prep up the startup investment journey in Nepal.
All right, now you're the vice president of CNI, and share a little bit about how the concept came on board when it comes to doing the CNI YEF, the entire Startup Fest. Just share a little bit about the Startup Fest, which recently happened.
Yeah, so as a part of CNI YEF, which is the Youth Entrepreneurship Forum of CNI, so I was leading that until 3 years back. So when I became vice president at CNI, I'm still overseeing CNI YEF from CNI. So what we thought was we need to have one goal in CNI YEF that we should take annually, and we should be able to accomplish something through that.
Yeah.
Okay, it is a good platform to network, know other entrepreneurs, everything like that is okay, but we need to do something impactful that will keep CNI YEF going as a concern. So under CNI YEF, in partnership of CNI YEF, we started up a committee called Startup Abhiyan Committee, and I'm fortunate to have Tenzin, Manish, everyone as a part of that committee. So when we got into that committee, we thought, so okay, we have created a committee. So what should we do now? So we thought, let's organize a event, let's organize a summit. There were deliberations around. Then the team came out with an idea that we should organize a fest. Because fest is more than a summit, more than a talk. It is like an event wherein we celebrate, the spirit of startups. We celebrate young entrepreneurs. We celebrate the whole occasion by calling in school people, college people, and organize it in a manner that it is more of a celebration rather than just talk and no walk. So that is how the whole concept I think came into fore, and I'm so glad. I mean, what we were able to do that day. I mean, everyone in that room, outside, inside, was surprised that a fest like this can be organized in Nepal, because a lot of startup fest, digital fest, or summit, or talk show have been organized. So we made sure that people who came in from they had fun, they listened to speakers, and at the same time we had the whole event wherein Tenzin did a great job with the whole application, and then the state setup, and then the investment commitment. So what we wanted to actually give out was the message to the broader stakeholders. I was so happy when you said the other corporates or other association or institution who are now looking to replicate this, or who are also looking to put their skin in the game. नेपालमा के हुन्छ नि कुरा मात्रै हुन्छ, यहाँ त्यो कोही त्यो इम्प्याक्टफुल कुरा हुँदैन कि ग्राउन्डमा. Even the government has been talking about their 1 billion rupees fund giving a soft loan to startups, but त्यो कहीं ना कहीं घुमिरहेको छ. अब कम से कम अब we as a private sector अब आएर if we have committed a certain amount of money to these startups, we really look forward that associations like us, more organizations come forward and at least help with this culture of investing in these startups, and then we can go and talk to the government as a whole on to get them on board, make it a bigger pool, and drive this ecosystem forward.
Perfect. And there was one specific thing, which I was thinking I'll talk to Vishnu sir when he comes to the podcast, but I'll share that right now. There was a specific moment थियो जब अस्तिको इभेन्टमा म पोडियम तल बसिरहेको थिएँ अनि इमेरिटस विनोद चौधरी सरले चाहिँ एउटा स्पेसिफिक कुरा भन्नुभएको थियो कि जुन मलाई ठ्याक्कै याद छ कि उहाँले के भन्नुभएको थियो भने पहिला विष्णु सरलाई डाइरेक्ट गरेर भन्नुभएको थियो कि पहिला यु आर अ पार्ट अफ सिएनआई वाइएफ एन्ड नाउ यु आर द प्रेसिडेन्ट अफ सिएनआई भनेर भन्नुभएको थियो कि मलाई त्यो बडो इन्ट्रेस्टिङ लागेको थियो किनभने त्यसले ग्रोथ त्यो एक हिसाबको त्यो ग्रोथ उहाँले त्यही नै भन्नुभएको थियो अनि त्यतिखेर मैले के सोचेको थिएँ भन्दाखेरि एउटा अन्टरप्रेन्योरको जर्नी पनि त्यही त हो नि त एक हिसाबले यु स्टार्ट फ्रम बिङ अ युथ you try new things, you try different things and then of course you'll fail in so many things, you will succeed in so many things, and then you'll grow. उहाँले त्यो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ मलाई झट्ट त्यो क्लिक भएको थियो कि एउटा हुन्छ नि होइन. And then I was just looking at you and I was looking at Amun, who is the president of CNIYF at the moment. And I was just thinking of 20 years later, probably I'll be hosting the event one more time, and then and I'll be looking at another president. I think very interesting. I'll stick with CNI conversation just for a bit, and I'll carry forward with this. Ramesh Corp, you're into so many different things, right? From hydro, banking, insurance, mobile, telecommunication. I'll just stick with that. Technology. Cement ta मैले भन्नै छुटाएछु हैन. So there's so many industries that you're part of, right? So many different things that your organization is part of. 2022, right now we are in July. Where do you see us in 2030, in July, when we're sitting together? Right? Where do you see all the industries, all the verticals that you have within your organization? What is the growth going to be like in the current scenario in your organization, Ramesh Corp? I just want to understand an 8-year to a 10-year path. What's the vision that you see where your organization is going to go? Because I'm saying it in a way that एउटा अर्गनाइजेसन अगाडि बढेर एउटा भिजन लिनु भनेको त्यो देशैको एउटा एक हिसाबको भिजन पनि हुन्छ के. So just give us a gist of your plans.
10x growth, no doubt about that. Because I see Nepalese economy is I think although we keep cribbing about it, यो छैन त्यो छैन, तर where there are complexities, where there is an opportunity कहाँ हुन्छ जहाँ complexities हुन्छ, जहाँ धेरै कुराहरू मिलेको हुँदैन. So Nepal is in the cusp of that right now. We are around say $37 billion economy, right? And जहिले पनि मैले के एउटा फन्डा के गर्छु, इन्डिया र नेपालको पपुलेसनको साइज अराउन्ड, इन्डियाको इज टु नेपाल इज 1.5% अफ पपुलेसन, जिडिपी पनि तपाईँको त्यसरी मुभ भइरहेको छ. इन्डिया एस्पायर्स टु बी a $5 trillion GDP by 2025. So if you take 2% of that, Nepal will be a $100 billion GDP, which is 3 times of what we are right now. And so त्यसलाई हेरेर next decade, I think what we in Nepal have realized is we cannot be an import-based economy. We need more manufacturing. Manufacturing means large scale, medium scale, all the type of scale. So एउटा त्यो हुन्छ. Next, we'll start selling hydropower soon to India now or to third country, and there'll be a lot of prosperity from the money that we are getting, as an export income, from that. So looking at these two or three basic things, we are aligning our corporation in a manner that we want to get into more manufacturing activities, at least 2 or 3 new type of manufacturing plants in Nepal, and to scale them to be a public company in future. That is very important, which my generation entrepreneurs should think of now, and what we are seeing in the market. Like that is where like Manish ji ko private equity, Tenzin ko alternative investment fund will also come in, and they would also pour in more money in in why only startup businesses, also the real sector businesses. अहिले सम्म पनि हामीले के गर्छौं भने नेपालमा के हेर्छौं भने जति पनि इन्डस्ट्रीजहरु छ, it is driven by our own equity के, but we have to open up our mind and open up our books and open up our company for people like Manish ji and Tenzin and others to come in and put in their equity and give them a 10x return in future. So by going public or by raising more funds from more Ps, So I think that is the way to go in the future. So we are preparing ourselves for at least 10x growth, if not less, Sanjay.
Sticking with this, what is the main hurdle of not growing into 100 times in the next 10 years? What are the hurdles, if that comes in your mind?
See, main hurdle would be, I would say, political consistency. Consistency in policy making. Because we do not have a very clear growth path. How we as an entrepreneurs in Nepal will thrive is what the political environment or what the economic environment is going to be. So if you see, our neighbors, India and China, politics is going on, but they have a very clear economic mandate. By 2025 सम्म म यो हुन्छु, 2030 सम्म म यो हुन्छु, 2040 सम्म हामी यो गर्छौं हैन. Once we have that, if we have it in Nepal, 25 सम्म will be this size of economy, 30 सम्म will be this size of economy. These are priority sectors, that government is looking into. Then the investment from private sector, FDI, everything will pour in automatically. Till date, we do not even have a country rating because we are insecure that if we get a country rating, we will be rated in a manner that जुन अलिअलि पैसा पनि बाहिरबाट आइरहेको छ त्यो पैसा फ्युचरमा आउँदैन होला. So before in the podcast I was telling you, right, we as a Nepal, as a country, we are still very insecure. Okay, we don't talk about our positives and capabilities, but we are always, pondering on our negatives and how incapable we are. So the day we change change that mindset, जुन चाहिँ नेपालमा entrepreneurial ecosystem the mindset छैन, we are always positive. We are always looking for new investment, growth, and the kind of ROIs, even the entrepreneurs in Nepal are getting, Sanjay, it is not a joke. I'm telling you, even if you look at South Asia or other regions as a whole, Nepal still ROIs are very, very good, but we have not been able to market that well because government or the policymakers have not been leading us into that direction. So the day they start embracing private sector more, and the day they have a very clear 10-year, 20-year, 30-year goal, I think then there'll be 100x growth.
No shadow of a doubt on that. And I just want to clear this with a young person who is 15 or 18 who is listening. ROI is return of investment. Just throwing that out there. What you just said, Isma, again, my 2 cents, just adding it out there. बाहिरबाट हेर्ने मान्छेको होइन, I'll come to diplomacy, होइन, हजुरको पाटो छ डक्टर साहब यो, होइन, बाहिरबाट हामीलाई हेर्ने दृष्टिकोण के छ? Anybody can jump into this. बाहिरबाट हेर्ने भन्नाले, I'm not just talking about India or China, I'm just talking about somebody who looks at us, our economy from abroad, how do they see us at the moment?
There is always a kind of a sense that we are underdeveloped or developing country, so that's the sense, a poor country. I think it has the whole taxonomy changing even in development, because the size of the population that we have, we are not smaller, because people is a market, right? So I think the psyche and the mentality of the people are changing. And the testimony is a lot of development finance institutions are now coming to Nepal, right? So they are not only giving
give us an example.
Like the British International Investment Funds, or even the Development Finance Corporation of US government, or Proparco of France. They are now trying to come here and invest. They're not just giving free money. They are basically investing their money and trying to take return out of Nepal.
अब यही कुरामा है म just to ask you, होइन, in a very layman's perspective, होइन, ठुल्ठुला अर्गनाइजेसन यहाँ आउन खोज्छन्, आउँछन् पनि, बाहिरै किनबेच पनि हुन्छ, होइन, कम्पनीहरू, होइन, मैले त्यो धेरै डिटेलमा जानै परेन, होइन, अनि त्यसपछि पैसा लान्छु भन्दाखेरि त धेरै झमेला हुन्छ, होइन, अनि त्यसपछि तर्सिन्छन्, होइन, अनि यो झमेलामा पर्ने कि नपर्ने पनि हुन्छ, होइन, saying it in a very layman's term, है, just explain it. What's the future going to be? What is the future going to be for all the international companies and international organizations to come in here?
No, I think it will change. It has changed a lot. Okay. It has changed a lot. Obviously, it's not like पहिला जस्तो छैन. अहिले धेरै त्यो कुरामा चाहिँ नि मेरो विचारमा चेन्ज आएको छ, because I'm also part of the American Chamber of Commerce, where we discuss about this, because there are companies like Coca-Cola, there's big companies who are basically investing in Nepal. So when we see the trend inside that, we are seeing that there are changes. Now there is, obviously there are a lot of, bureaucratic hurdles, a lot of paperwork needs to be done basically to do that. But पहिला भन्दा चाहिँ नि केही चेन्ज आएको छ. Obviously it's going to change. त्यो चाहिँ छ. मेरो विचारमा the other factor is the youth dividend that we have. Also in our bureaucracy now, we are also seeing a transformation there also. So there is highly educated people, or even people who are educated abroad are now going into bureaucracy. So त्यसले पनि चेन्ज ल्याउँछ जस्तो लाग्छ. And a very interesting thing, how change is going to happen, and what Rohit also said, that हाम्रो bureaucratic mindset मा चाहिँ के छ भन्दाखेरि केही कुरा गर्दाखेरि there are always a suspicion in terms of यो कुरा हुन्छ हुँदैन, हैन, कसरी गर्ने. Give you an example. So in the startup fest, there was one gentleman, one senior people, high level government official from the Ministry of Finance, who came to the startup fest with his son, who was 16, 17.
Oh, okay, wow.
So, and he met me, and then he introduced me to his son.
Yeah.
And this was later, and he said me, I'll give you a call. Let us meet at the Ministry of Finance, because we need to understand a lot of things. So after a couple of days, I got a phone call. I went inside Singapore, his office, and sat down. We talked about startup, how it's going, what is happening in India, what is happening in China, what is happening everywhere, and what is happening in Nepal. So we came into that. We also talked about our license, our hurdles, we talked about our startup policy, everything. And at the end, he told me one question, and then he said, I understand everything that you say, तर मलाई एउटा कुरा बुझाइदिनुहोस्, हामीले चाहिँ नि रिपोर्ट हेरेर पढ्दाखेरि what we saw is only 10% of the startup basically succeed. अनि तपाईँहरूले चाहिँ नि यो जनताको पैसा उठाएर यस्तो रिस्की इन्भेस्टमेन्ट किन गर्नुहुन्छ भनेर सोध्नु भयो कि अनि आई वेन्ट विथ द सेम यु आर भेरी राइट होइन, तपाईँले भन्नुभएको कुरा एकदम सही हो. only 10% of startup basically succeed. तर त्यो किन सक्सिड हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि हाम्रो जस्तो प्राइभेट इक्विटी फन्डबाट पैसा लिएर एक्सपर्टिज लिएर चाहिँ नि दे वेन्ट इन्टु सक्सेसफुल. बिकज स्टार्टअप इज समथिङ द्याट एभ्रिबडी हेज अ थिङ होइन. यी रोहित टोल्ड मी अबाउट देयर इन्भेस्टमेन्ट, टोल्ड अस अबाउट देयर इन्भेस्टमेन्ट इन सस्तो डिल. देयर आर लट अफ ई-कमर्स साइट्स, but there are only very few who has that level of investment.
Right.
Kemu taken over by
Exactly.
Daraj and
Exactly.
Alibaba Group, for example.
Exactly. So त्यो भएको कारणले चाहिँ you should promote private equity, you should promote venture capital, you should promote alternative investment landscape होइन. त्यो जहिले पनि त्यो सस्पिसन छ नि त्यो चाहिँ छ. तर now it's changing because now their sons and daughters are also trying to pursue startups.
Right.
They are trying to be in Nepal. किनभने अहिलेसम्म मैले के देखिरहेको छु भने जति पनि हाम्रो गभर्मेन्ट अफिसमा या इभन हाम्रो पोलिटिसियन्स sons and daughters, they are just abroad.
Exactly.
They just stay abroad. So for them, doing something is just होइन पकेटबाट चाहिँ पैसा निकालेर दिएको जस्तो कि मेरै पकेटबाट मैले पैसा निकालेर दिनु लागेको जस्तो त्यो खालको मेन्टालिटी थियो. तर नाउ वाट इज ह्यापनिङ एन्ड वाट आई एम सिइङ इज देयर इज अ फेनोमिनल चेन्ज द्याट इज ह्यापनिङ अमङ द युथ अफ नेपाल. What we saw in CNI, Fest also, Startup Fest
Right.
also. So I think that is the indicator of change. Our bureaucracy is changing. What we see in the local election recently about the transformation that we're seeing is changing. So in about 5 to 10 years, I think we'll see a great change in Nepal.
I'll give you an example. I'll give everybody a solid example of where we are sitting right now. Not blowing my own bloody trumpet, but why not? जब मैले यो पडकास्ट सुरु गरेको थिएँ त्यतिखेर अफकोर्स मैले अघि नै थोरै सेयर गरिहालेँ होइन. कहाँबाट पैसा आउनु एउटा दाइलाई थाहा छ, झन् यो त दाइले झन् बुझ्नुहुन्छ. दाइ त मेरो पाटोमै आएर बसेर काम गर्नुभएको छ होइन अलि अगाडि होइन, हुँदैन नि त होइन. मैले बनाएँ होइन, यो सबै थोक बनाइसकेपछि कोभिडको समय थियो होइन. सबै थोक बनाइसकेपछि मैले पहिलो सुरु सपोर्ट त चाहियो, एउटा सपोर्ट सिस्टम त चाहिन्छ नि त होइन. अनि हाम्रो सपोर्ट सिस्टम के हो भन्दाखेरि कसैले अलिकति अब मैले यो गर्न खोजेको छु, मसँग 30-40 जनाको सब्सक्राइबर बेस छ होइन, सपोर्ट गर है मलाई भनेर सबसे पहिला कहाँ जान्छ मान्छे? सबसे पहिला आफूलाई पहिला जसले सपोर्ट गरेको थियो त्यो मान्छेकोमा जान्छ होइन. I called up a few organizations who I had worked with for the past 10-15 years. So I'm starting my own thing. I know. Would you be a part of it? There was 1-2 organization which said, sure, not a problem. Especially त्यो अर्गनाइजेसनको सेकेन्ड जेनेरेसनसँग कुरा गरेँ कि मैले, अथवा थर्ड जेनेरेसनसँग मैले कुरा गरेँ कि, किनभने उनीहरूलाई पडकास्ट मैले बुझाउनु पर्दैन थियो. मोस्ट प्रब्ली फर्स्ट जेनेरेसन र सेकेन्ड जेनेरेसनलाई मैले बुझाउनु पर्थ्यो, थर्ड जेनेरेसनलाई मैले बुझाउनु पर्दैन थियो होइन. त्यो भयो. त्यो सबै सकिसकेपछि मैले के गरेँ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ अब मैले सोचेँ होइन. त्यतिखेर एउटा प्लस पोइन्ट चाहिँ मलाई के भयो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ थ्याङ्क्स टु कोभिड all the sons and daughters had come back from abroad.
Right.
Yeah.
सबैजना विदेशबाट चाहिँ फर्केर आउनु भएको थियो. त्यो मन थियो थिएन त्योसँग मलाई थाहा छैन, तर फर्केर चाहिँ आउनु पर्थ्यो किनभने आफ्नै देश आउनु पर्छ. त्यहाँ विदेशमा फेरि कोभिड लाग्यो भने के हुन्छ भनेर होइन. When I went and said that, hey, I'm starting this, I barely have any followers and I barely have any views, but I'm starting it, and if you support me now, when I have X amount of views, we'll do business in the same almost amount, on the same amount. I'll always, you support me now, I'll always be there for you, regardless of how much views I'll have. It was not hard for me to convince my friends who were my age group or younger than me, who ran business houses. So daily भनेको कुरामा चाहिँ त्यो change चाहिँ यहीँबाट मैले देखाएको थिएँ कि, and it was easier for me to kind of explain it to the youth. So this is what I'm trying to do, and this is how I plan to grow. Would you be able to go ahead and support and be a part of what I'm trying to do भनेर होइन. So दाइले भन्न खोज्नुको कुरा पनि त्यही नै हो जस्तो लाग्छ कि मलाई.
So the change is हाम्रो जेनेरेसनबाट चाहिँ नि अब चेन्ज सुरु हुँदैछ. That's what I'm trying to say.
यो इकोसिस्टममा होइन, अघि न हजुरले भनेकोमा मलाई एउटा प्रश्न फेरि सोध्नु मन लाग्यो कि जब बुवा र छोरा कति वर्षको भन्नुभएको थियो, छोरा फेस्टमा आएको 16
वर्षको
छोराले चाहिँ के बुझ्न खोजिरहेको थियो?
एक्ज्याक्टली. सो द छोराले चाहिँ नि बुवालाई किन लिएर आउनु भएको रहेछ भने चाहिँ he wanted to do something. So the father was not convinced. So he bought his father basically to see what other peoples are doing. Right? So that's what it is. That's what it is. So the son doesn't want to go abroad.
And we had one more similar story, I think. Amun shared, over Facebook, where this
Yeah,
little girl, right?
exactly,
I think
exactly.
10 ki 12 वर्षको
झगडा गरेर बुवासँग झगडा
बुवासँग झगडा बुवाले भने किन अब इट इज नट फर योर एज टु गो टु अ स्टार्टअप फेस्ट सो उसले
No
बुवालाई
class of
सँगै लिएर आएको बुवालाई आई थिङ्क अब साथले सँगै लिएर आएर पुरा फेस्ट देखाएर आफ्नो बुवाको उसले थट प्रोसेस चेन्ज गरे होइन दिस इज फर अस दिस इज वाट वी वान्ट टु बी आई मिन दिज आर सम अफ द स्टोरिज विच रियली आई मिन हामीले सोचेको पनि थिएन हामीले कल्पना पनि गरेको थिएन वेन वी टकिङ अबाउट दिस टेन्जिङ कि विल ह्याभ दिस स्टोरिज when these young young chaps, boys and girls would be coming in and like consuming it in a manner that we could have never thought of. So एउटा भनाइ के छ भने there is an aspiration के सञ्जय aspiration छ तर त्यो entrepreneurial ecosystem चाहिँ क्रिएट गर्नुपर्ने सरकार होला हामी प्राइभेट सेक्टर होला अर्गनाइजेसन होला इट इज अल आवर दायित्व कि हामी कसरी गर्छौँ भनेर यसलाई किनकि अहिले के छ विदेश जानुपर्ने छ विदेश काम गर्न जानुपर्ने छ भने गाउँबाट पैसा उठाएर गयो होइन अस्ट्रेलिया जानुपर्ने छ भने मजाले पैसा दिन्छ तर कुनै भेन्चर सुरु गर्नुपर्छ भने त्यति इजिली पैसा पाउँदैन कि फ्यामिली फ्रेन्ड्सबाट पनि भेन्चर त फेल नै होला कसरी गर्ला त्यो एउटा अलिकति थट प्रोसेस भएर ल बरु अन्टरप्रेनर बन्नुपर्छ कि भेन्चर सुरु गर्नुपर्छ भनेर सिड क्यापिटल दिन्छु भनेर त्यो एउटा जुन दिन त्यो थट प्रोसेस हुन्छ नि हाम्रो एज अ होल हाम्रो यहाँ इकोसिस्टममा अटोमेटिकली यु विल सी अ लट अफ न्यू कम्पनीज न्यू बिजनेसेस स्टार्टिङ इन नेपाल
त्यसमा जस्तै मलाई लागेको जस्तै लार्जर पर्सपेक्टिभमा के चेन्ज भइरहेछ भन्दाखेरि अघि सोध्नु भएको थियो नि जस्तै बाहिरबाट नेपाललाई हेर्दाखेरि के सोध्छ भनेर अब मैले यसो बुझ्दाखेरि नेपालीहरूको दिमागमा चाहिँ हामी अब इन्डिया चाइना बिचमा छ पोलिटिक्सले नेपाललाई सबैले हेरिरहेछ भन्ने सोच्छ तर त्यो होइन क्या आई थिङ्क इट्स मोर अबाउट इकोनोमिक सिफ्ट जस्तै एउटा दिन्छु होइन यो इकोनोमिक सेन्टर अफ ग्राभिटी भन्ने हुन्छ जस्तै ओभरअल ग्लोबल्ली चाहिँ सबै इकोनोमिक एक्टिभिटिजको सेन्टर चाहिँ कहाँ कुन लोकेसनमा पर्छ भन्ने थियो पहिला त्यो युरोपमा थियो त एकजना प्रोफेसर ड्यानिक्वा भन्ने हुनुहुन्छ उता एलएससीको अहिले चाहिँ सिङ्गापुरमा हुनुहुन्छ उहाँले त्यो देखाउनु भएको छ कि त्यो ठ्याक्क नेपालबाट 100 समथिङ किलोमिटर होइन नर्थतिर चाहिँ हुन्छ भनेर होइन सो अब हामी चाहिँ अब पोलिटिकल होइन क्या इकोनोमिक सेन्टर अफ ग्राभिटी नजिकै आउँदैछौँ र नि हाम्रो देश चाहिँ त्यो पपुलेसन वाइज मार्केट वाइज ठुलो छ होइन अब खालि के भयो भने ठुलो लार्ज दुईवटा कन्ट्रिजको बिचमा हुँदाखेरि त्यो पर्सपेक्टिभ हरायो तर त्यहाँ हो कि अब हामीले हेर्ने सायद अब यो नयाँ जेनेरेसनहरूले हामी सबैले अब जोसँग काम गरिरहेको छौँ उहाँहरूले सोच्ने भनेको चाहिँ अपर्च्युनिटिज यहीँ हुन्छ हामीले यो फरक पर्सपेक्टिभबाट हेरौँ भन्ने होइन अनि प्लस अर्को एउटा जस्तै त्यो मैले पोडकास्ट हेरेँ हाम्रो गगन थापा दाइ उहाँसँगको जस्तै मैले उहाँलाई रिसेन्टली फ्यु डेज अगाडि भेटाएको थिएँ अनि उहाँलाई के भन्यो भने दाइ मैले तपाईँलाई पहिलोचोटि 16 वर्ष हुँदाखेरि रिङ रोड घेराएको बेला भेटाएको थिएँ 62-63 वर्ष अगाडि 16 वर्षको हुँदा 62-63को आन्दोलनमा तपाईँ रिङ रोड घेर्न जानुभएको थियो म सँगसँगै थिएँ भने त्यति बेला एउटा सिस्टम चेन्ज भएपछि अब ठुलै हुन्छ भन्ने थियो होइन तर 16 वर्षपछि पनि हामी अझै क्ल्यारिटी छैन होइन भनेपछि अबको नेक्स्ट 16 वर्ष पनि म त्यसैलाई वेट गर्ने हो कि अथवा हामीले चाहिँ बढी फोकस अरू कामहरूमा मान्छेको अन्टरप्रेन्योरसिप रिस्क टेकिङ क्रिएटिभिटी त्यतातिर गर्ने होइन सो आई थिङ्क त्यो माइन्ड सिफ्टले चाहिँ यहाँ अघि भन्नुभएको जो मान्छेहरूले त्यहाँ स्टार्टअप फेस्टमा आउनुभयो नि सो आई थिङ्क त्यो माइन्ड सिफ्ट चेन्ज भइरहेछ कि हेन्स दे वर देयर with their parents.
Very interesting. Mooja, you're the youngest among all of us. Well, you're the youngest. Sorry, buddy. Could you share a little bit about, honestly, why did you decide to stay back in Nepal? I'm sure with your education, you could have easily went ahead and stayed anywhere in the world and excelled anywhere across the world. Could you just share your story a little bit?
I think the main reason would be that Nepal, there's so much potential. जे गरेर whatever you do होइन तपाईँले गएर युएसमा गरे पनि तपाईँ नेपालमा गरे नि गर्ने त त्यही नै हो होइन बट वेन यु आर डुइङ इट इन यर होम कन्ट्री द कन्फिडेन्स द्याट यु डु इट विथ द प्राइड द्याट यु डु इट विथ होइन मैले आफ्नै कन्ट्रीको लागि गरिरहेको छु भनेर भन्दाखेरि एन्ड द कम्फर्ट लेभल द्याट यु हेभ इफ यु क्यान हामीले बाहिर गएर जति एफर्ट लगाउँछौँ त्यो कम्फर्ट लेभलमा नेपालमै बसेर गर्ने हो भने अभियसली यु क्यान प्रस्पर मोर होइन यहाँ बसेर गर्दाखेरि यु नो द्याट द टाइप अफ पिपल द्याट युर डिलिङ विथ द टाइप अफ पर्सेप्सन्स द्याट अल द पिपल ह्याभ देन आई थिङ्क यहीँ बसेर गर्दाखेरि यु हेभ द्याट प्राइड विथ यु कि मैले कन्ट्रीकै लागि गरेँ होइन And plus we नेपालमा धेरै जस्तो कुराहरुमा to be bluntly honest हैन whatever you do you get that first mover advantage हैन बाहिर गएर गर्नु भयो भने everyone's already done that हैन
Trust me, I know.
Yeah, you can take that example as well हैन तर नेपालमा गएर गर्नु भयो भने that's like a new thing हैन everyone's like oh what's this हैन although the globalization ले गर्दाखेरि धेरै that effect has gone down definitely हैन तर तपाईले नेपालमा भएको recent innovationsहरु हेर्नु भयो भने it's more like inspired innovations के so you can start that thing here that has already been tried and tested somewhere else and you can do it here you can customize that service or good or product whatever it is हैन to the local market and you can do that and be immensely successful here.
I wanted to ask you, when you go to business houses or even individuals, if I'm not mistaken, from our earlier conversation and what I've read about Himalayan capital, when you go to them, what are the top things that, of course, investment return to छँदैछ त्यो बाहेक उनीहरूले के खोज्छन् लाइक केमा चाहिँ त्यो मेन त्यो हुन्छ नि हैन दिमाग चाहिँ केमा फोकस्ड हुन्छ स्पेशली अर्गनाइजेसन्सको हुन सक्छ इन्डिभिजुअल्सको हुन सक्छ अथवा डिफरेन्टली भने पनि हुन्छ छुट्टा छुट्टै भने पनि हुन्छ
As an investor or
as an investor
as an investor I think they're looking more to like how much a product or a service can be scalable हैन र त्यो कम्पनीमा म्यानेजमेन्ट कस्तो छ हैन लाइक यु वान्ट पिपल हु आर रियली लिभिङ एन्ड डाइङ बाई द बिजनेस हैन जसले चाहिँ एकदम प्यासनेटली गरिराख्नु भएको छ अब वी क्यान सी स्टार्टअप्स लाइक गरौँ न त बिजनेस भनेर एकदमै पार्ट टाइममा एकदमै लाइक ऱ्यान्डम थट्सहरू ल्याएर अल्दो देयर आर इनोभेसन्स द्याट आई वुन्ट ब्लेम द्याट होइन तर द पिपल हु लाइक लिभ एन्ड डाई बाई द्याट बिजनेस होइन यो होइन दिस इज समथिङ द्याट आई विल स्ट्यान्ड बाई जस्तो सुकै हार्ड टाइम भए पनि आई विल स्ट्यान्ड बाई दिस आई विल मेक दिस ह्यापन होइन त्यस्तो भयो भने चाहिँ वी आर मोर इन्ट्रेस्टेड कि किनकि there's real passion there people who have made that त्यो एम अफ लाइफ नै त्यही बनाइराख्नु भएको छ भने ओके भोलि केही नराम्रो भयो भने उहाँहरूले छोडेर जानुहुन्न भने वी हेभ द्याट कन्फिडेन्स हाम्रो की पर्सनलहरू नै एकदमै टोटली भेस्टेड हुनुभयो भने देन वी क्यान लाइक ओके दे आर रियली ट्राइङ टु डु समथिङ हियर चाहिँ यत्तिकै केही देख्नुभयो र त्यसमा जम्प इन खालि त्यो ब्यान्ड वागनमा जम्प इन गर्नु खोज्नु भएको छैन उहाँ दे रियली बिलिभ इन द्याट कज भयो भने चाहिँ आई थिङ्क द्याट्स समथिङ द्याट रियली वी लुक आफ्टर.
Very interesting. Tenzin, there's a company that you invested in, your organization invested in Wise Yak भनेर हैन म पढ्दै थिएँ कि Wise Yak को बारेमा हैन when we discussed thank you for arranging this as well हैन अनि I was reading up on Wise Yak हैन it's a AI
health tech company
हैन अनि मैले पढेँ अनि मलाई बडो युनिक लाग्यो कि अब सबै बिजनेस थाहा हुँदैन नि त हैन अब कति बिजनेस छ कति बिजनेस छ देशमा हैन Why did you guys invest in that company specifically? And how do you choose your companies?
So I think specifically in that company, like Mooja said, the people component is very important when you make an assessment, right? So there's a lot of people that will jump on the bandwagon of what's trendy, what's cool, and that's fine. Some of them will make it, some of them won't. That's just how business works. But then you meet certain founders. Who live by their business, who pretty much it means everything to them, and the founders of Wise Yak. And first of all, the name itself is very catchy. Right?
Yeah.
Even I was like,
Wise Yak.
I was trying to be like Wise and Yak, like yak being a Nepalese Himalayan animal, right? Well known around the Himalayas and around the world. So the founders really struck me. I'm not a technologist, so I'll try to explain what the company does. But
Sure.
it was actually the founders that clicked with me first. And these are people. They are quite mature. They've been in this sector, AI and technology, for 2-3 decades. And AI in itself was hardly present 2-3 decades ago, right? It was more of a theoretical and academic construct. And today it's some of the most valuable companies today versus in the future, most definitely it'll be have something to do with AI, right? So AI is basically artificial intelligence, you can say in layman's terms, like a very advanced form of technology, right? So as we say, like in the past decades, in the mid 1900s to up to it's all the rich countries had oil and everyone is about it. We all know that, we've read about it. And today it's almost no more. And in the future, it'll definitely not be. The future will be about technology, it'll be about data, right? It'll be about renewable energy. And just speaking earlier, we were all talking about Nepal and youth dividend here and so on. And then you also asked about international economy. What is the view of Nepal? Frankly speaking, right now Nepal is a footnote of a footnote. We just don't make it in the conversations of international economics because as of today, like Rohit pointed out, or we don't really export anything of value, frankly speaking, as of today. Doesn't mean we don't have potential. We certainly do, but as of today, we don't. But the moment we do, we will definitely make it to the international kind of economic landscape, right? Like there will be articles about Nepal in the Wall Street Journal, and they'll be talking about us on CNBC and so on and so forth. And one sector, for example, is hydro, right? We are all recently, one of the good things is we've started exporting energy to India. I have no doubt that at some point in the near future we'll be exporting a pretty significant amount of energy, right? And in theory, Nepal has some 50,000 megawatts of energy that we can generate. If we were to even export just half of that, that's enough money to like almost be like a Gulf country rich. Right? So Nepal has the potential.
I'm looking at Rohit and Manish there, right there. Especially.
We would just be sitting and doing nothing then.
Exactly. We'd all be like sheikhs.
There's a thing that I was reading this morning, and I'll not dive super deep into it. Saudi Arabia, again, is, of course, oil's going to run out. There was an article this morning, and most probably CNN, that I was reading this morning. The oil is definitely going to run out, and they're trying to focus on tourism, religious tourism as well. And I don't need to explain more when it comes to religious tourism with Saudi Arabia. And I was wondering, there are a couple of sectors that we have which is always going to be with us, at least for the foreseeable future. Mount Everest ain't going anywhere. It's going to be there forever. Of course, there are tons of other things that, when it comes to tourism, that's always going to be there with us forever and ever. And what you just pointed out was we're not going to run out of water anytime soon. We have 6,000 rivers, right? Last time we had this conversation. So we're not going to run out of that either. Potential, let's talk about, not just hypothetically, but let's pinpoint on, and I would want to understand from each and every one of you, कुन सेक्टरमा चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ हाम्रो चाहिँ ग्यारेन्टी चाहिँ हामीले त्यो प्रस्पर गर्ने सेक्टर्सहरु चाहिँ कुन हो त? If you could just pinpoint a few sectors that guarantee we're going to prosper, no shadow of a doubt भन्ने हिसाबले चाहिँ hydro एउटा भयो.
Energy, right?
Energy.
So in hydro, you have in energy, I think the two most obvious one is energy, because as you pointed out, we have thousands of river here. And Nepal has the huge advantage. It's not that other countries don't have rivers. There are rivers all around the world. But Nepal has an advantage of our geography and landscape. We go from the high Himalayas all the way down to the plains of the right. So it gives that kind of natural drop, which is basically energy, right? Free energy, because of our pure geography and landscape, right? So the same hydropower plant being built in Nepal versus, say, in France, it's probably a much more costlier to build it there, right? So even from an investor standpoint, right, it makes much more sense to invest here because it's less costly to build energy plant. Secondly, if you speak about solar, for example, right, one of the things that we all love about living in Nepal is, besides the people, of course, the weather. Right? There are wonderful other cities and countries, but there are certain, let's not name very famous cities in the world where it's like raining half the year and you can't walk out with your umbrella and so on, right? Nepal has 300 plus sunny days in a year on average. So talk about solar energy right there, right? So there's hydro, there's solar, and there's a lot more, right? We can go on and on. Secondly, talking about what are high potential areas. So if you combine two things, one is our youth dividend that Manish was talking about. We have a very young population, very smart. There's a lot of smart Nepalese people. Like let's not underestimate that. Although many go out, there's enough smart people still in Nepal. Right, trust me.
Well said.
Yeah, right, and then secondly, but you can't just say they're smart and they're here, right? So the thing about youth today, I almost feel a little old saying this. I'm not that old, but speaking to say younger people, maybe in their 20s or early 30s, so a lot of these young people who are in their 20s, I think, grew up in the .com internet era, right? So for them, YouTube, internet, it's just like, this is just part of their lives, right? They're intricately linked to this technology era. So the advantage of that is they're smart, their access to information, everything is out of this world, right? Than say the previous generation, right? The disadvantage of that is that attention span.
It's
Right?
very short.
We all being, some of us being parents, we worry about this. I studied psychology. One of the worries of psychologists is that we'll have a generation of young people who literally have ADD, attention deficit disorder, right? Because think about it, when you have technology, you literally have access to everything. You're
Yeah.
clicking through so fast that you are literally being wired, like your brain, to process information too fast that you can't kind of in a step back, slow, reflective kind of way go in that pace, which that also has value, right? So I think there's that kind of double-edged sword. So I think our youth need to, the youth dividend is there. The smart young population is here in Nepal. But I think they need to be provided like the right platform. And I think Nepal can be a great, for example, technology hub.
Right. I was
How,
about to say
how,
that.
how can they become a technology hub? I'll give you an example.
Sure.
Right? So even India has a youth dividend, right? India has a very young population there. So we cannot like directly compete in that sense, right? Because all the multinationals have offices there and so on and so forth. But one way is, for example, I was speaking recently, a few months ago, with my former colleague and friend who's based in Singapore. He works for a big Singapore investment company called Temasek, right? So it's a huge company. He heads one of the technology business arms there. And he was saying, like, you know, you keep Tenzin talking about energy and hydro, blah, blah, all that stuff. And he's like, you know, the next big thing is not oil, you know, it's data, right, in the future, right? So oil and everything is a limited resource, right? Water, like as you pointed out, is pretty much unlimited. 24 ghanta for free, right? It's our natural, God-gifted resource, right?
Yeah.
So if we were to have these big companies, Google and Microsoft and Amazon and whatnot, for them to build their data centers here in Nepal, and the data center energy fully coming from green energy, be it solar or hydro and so on like that, that would then start attracting these kind of companies. And then they would also need talent, then, right? And then what we have like plenty of smart young Nepalese people ready to work for MNCs. Just like India didn't really develop until they actually opened up their economy into, before it was a pretty close economy, right? Until
The 70s,
right?
yeah, 70s, 80s. Yeah.
And then once the MNCs came in, so they brought in their investments and management practices. India always had young, smart people, just like Nepal does, right? And so we have a lot of advantages, you know, I think, but a certain platform needs to be provided for young people. Just to say they're young and they're smart is obviously not quite enough.
Yeah.
So every year we do have young people going abroad, looking, the grass is greener on the other side, you know. So I think there are many sectors, you know, we just have to connect the dots.
While you're saying this, I remember the conversation I had with Bishwas Takal, the co-founder of F1 Soft. Couple of things that he had said, which a lot of people can always go back and listen to the podcast. One of the things that he said, well, I'll explain it in a very layman's term, we do need major companies to come into Nepal. The major companies will come with their expertise. And they've already tried and tested so many different things outside that they'll come in and they will go ahead, and the word that I'm about to use is called skill. Our youth are going to go ahead and gain that skill and gain that expertise. And then, of course, we can go ahead and move forward and create our own homegrown companies with that skill. In 2022, a lot of people might be looking at this in the future as well. 2022 ma skilled youth ko chahi ke cha ta bracket euta jun cha ni like you said earlier cha ni मान्छे पनि छ skill पनि छ भनेर you said हैन अब okay Rohit, skilled youth within your organization, within Ramesh Corp, within the organization, the majority of the youth that you have, when you talk to them, when you talk to them on a day-to-day basis, the people that you work with every day, what's the thing that they go ahead and tell you that, you know, यसरी change गर्नु पर्ला, यो अझ सिक्नु मन छ? What are the things that they tell you every single day? And then I'll jump into others as well.
See, so we are fortunate to be a very young company, right? So
Yeah.
I was seeing other day our average age is like 32 to 38 ko bichmai cha. And
Nice.
so a lot of these people, we have grown together as an organization and as a people. So aspirations are, I mean, like, you know, what I would like to say is, you know, Sanjay, what I try to encourage in my company is, you're working for us, don't work like an employee, work and think like an entrepreneur. I think that is very important, okay? even for people who are working for you, because you have to see the bigger picture that you might move up, lead a business vertical, lead a business department, and if you are bored with this, go and start your own venture, and we will support you in that. So we try to encourage that within our organization, because the people are so young. Why would we want all the people to keep working for someone else throughout their life and end their career like that? So that is what I was trying to explain before, right?
Yeah.
So I am trying to foster that kind of entrepreneurship zeal within my organization, wherein from this year onwards, we are trying to have a lot of learning, networking, other sessions that we have in an organization like CNI, YE for CNI, because I want to give my people a bigger perspective. We are lucky that we have studied outside, we have seen the world, we have got exposure, right? A lot of youth, a lot of employees in my company, they have not been outside Nepal. So the Nepal has been an entire world and ecosystem for them, except for what they hear or see in internet, right? So
Yeah.
it is important for us to also give them that exposure and that aspiration that you have to go up in your life, not only professionally pani, personally pani, sabi aspect ma develop, grow garera, try to be an entrepreneur and try to think like an entrepreneur. If you're able to even encourage that within our organization, we will see our organizations doing well, and these youth, taking a chance to live a better life and maybe start a business for themselves in future on what they've learned within our organization. So that is what we're trying to do.
Entrepreneurship भन्ने एउटा शब्द फेरि बडो 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 अचम्मको शब्द छ कि होइन सबैले पनि सबैलाई यो शब्दलाई म केमा जोड्छु भन्दाखेरि पोलिटिक्समा जोड्छु कि यो शब्दलाई अहिले आएर हुन्छ नि होइन एकैचोटि अहिले स्पेसली आई विल टेक मेयर ब्यालेन्स नेम होइन youth is suddenly very interested in politics, which is great, which is fantastic. Same thing with entrepreneurship as well. What you just said, again, hats off to you that you're trying to go ahead and say this to your partners and your people who work with you. Think like an entrepreneur. Yo entrepreneurship bhanera हजुरको perspective के छ त? Doctor, why don't you go ahead and share this? And what's your perspective on this word called entrepreneurship?
Very interesting, especially in Nepal, because म जहिले पनि भन्दै के आउँछु भने हामी कहाँ चाहिँ नि if you see our society, if you see our culture, enterprise is coded within the within the caste system होइन त्यसरी नै चलिआएको हो नि त. म क्षेत्री भएपछि म आर्मीमा जानुपर्छ, म ब्राह्मण भए पनि म पूजा गर्नुपर्छ, म मारवाडी भए पनि म व्यापार गर्नुपर्छ, म चाहिँ नि शेरचन भए पनि म व्यापार गर्नुपर्छ भनेर त्यो सिस्टम थियो. एटलिस्ट पनि मभन्दा माथिको जेनेरेसनमा चाहिँ नि त्यो खालको चाहिँ नि एउटा भनौँ न हामीसँग.
Just hold your thought. I'm sorry. Could everybody turn off your phones, please? Just if you could just put it on airplane mode. I'm so sorry. The listeners are going to be really annoyed if I'm so sorry. I apologize. Just airplane mode if you could. That's about it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You can pick up from wherever you want.
Yeah. So हामी कहाँ चाहिँ नि कास्ट बेस्ड सिस्टमबाट चाहिँ नि हामी एन्टरप्राइज या एन्टरप्रेनर बन्ने त्यो खालको थियो होइन. मोस्ट प्रोबब्ली नेवार चाहिँ नि एन्टरप्रेनर हुन्थ्यो, मोस्ट प्रोबब्ली मारवाडीहरू चाहिँ नि एन्टरप्रेनर हुन्थे, या चाहिँ थकालीहरू हुन्थे होइन. यो तिनवटा जातको चाहिँ नि पहिला वर्चस्व थियो भनौँ न. या हामी चाहिँ नि क्षेत्री भएर म चाहिँ नि एन्टरप्राइजमा जाएँ भने म बिग्रिन्थेँ होइन. त्यो चाहिँ नि एकदम ठुलो रिस्की भेन्चर हुन्थ्यो होइन, त्यो नजाने बाटो. त्यो एटलिस्ट पनि मभन्दा अगाडिको जेनेरेसनमा चाहिँ नि त्यसरी हेरिन्थ्यो होइन, हामीभन्दा अगाडिको जेनेरेसनमा. तर चाहिँ नि अल अफ द सडन तपाईँले अघि तिमीले भने जस्तै अल अफ द सडन चाहिँ नि दिस एन्टरप्रेनरसिपको चाहिँ नि भूत चाहिँ नि जताततै जागेको मैले पनि पाएको छु. इट्स अल्सो गुड, इट्स अल्सो ब्याड. गुड वी क्यान टक अ लट अफ थिङ्स. ब्याड अब त्यहाँनिर कहाँनिर छ भने आई अल्सो रन अ बिजनेस स्कुल वेयर आई सी young people having an aspiration, having a dream to basically run a business or lead a business. तर अब हामी चाहिँ नि कहाँ मार खाइरहेको छ, मोस्ट प्रोबब्ली हामी कहाँ मार खान्छौँ भन्दाखेरि इफ वी हेभ अ लट अफ एन्टरप्रेनर्स होइन. अघि हामीले पनि कुरा गऱ्यो, बिजनेस इज समथिङ हु एभर डज गुड इज गोइङ टु लिड द्याट अर इज गोइङ टु मेक द्याट राइट. तर अब जुन केटाकेटी चाहिँ नि भनौँ न ब्याचलर्स डिग्री पछि चाहिँ नि ऊ आउँछ, त्यो 3-4 वर्ष चाहिँ नि उसले त्यो हिट एन्ड ट्रायल गरेर यदि ऊ फेल हुन्छ भने हिल reach into a midlife crisis, and most probably we'll also not get a very competent human resource in our enterprise. I know अहिले म लक्ष्य ब्याङ्कको बोर्डमा बस्दाखेरि पनि what we are seeing is basically we do not see a lot of good talent coming to work for us, because most of the cream talent are now wanted to be an entrepreneur. I don't know how much of them will be successful.
That is a new for me. I thought all the good talent wanted to go and work in a bank.
No. This has changed. Now, things are basically changing.
Playing it safe.
Things are changing.
यो मैले भनिहालेँ यसमै मलाई क्यारी फरवर्ड गर्नु मलाई प्लेइङ इट सेफ होइन त्यो एउटा समयमा थियो कि यु वर्क क्लोजली विथ गभर्मेन्ट एज वेल होइन इफ आइम नट मिस्टेकन दुईजना प्राइम मिनिस्टरसिप आई बिलिभ बाबुराम भट्टराईकोमा पनि हजुर अलिकति आबद्ध हुनुहुन्थ्यो क्यारे त्यो समयमा
फेलोसिप
गर्नुभएको थियो होइन अनि हाम्रो करेन्ट प्राइम मिनिस्टर शेरबहादुर देउवाकोमा पनि पहिला त्योभन्दा अलि अगाडि पनि हुनुहुन्थ्यो क्यारे होइन इफ आइम नट मिस्टेकन होइन अफकोर्स यहाँ सबैजना गभर्मेन्ट लेभलसँग कतै न कतै ठोकिनु भएको छ होइन आई कम टु यु होइन यो पहिला भनिन्थ्यो कि एउटा गीत पनि छ कि एउटा बडो इन्ट्रेस्टिङ गीत पनि छ कि होइन छोरी चाहिँ अब सरकारी जागिरलाई मात्र दिने भन्ने एउटा गीत पनि छ कि होइन एक जमानामा होइन ब्युरोक्रेसीमा कस्तो हुँदो रहेछ होइन फेलोसिप पनि गर्नु होइन ब्युरोक्रेसीमा कस्तो हुँदो रहेछ यो अन्टरप्रेन्योरसिपलाई मात्र होइन एउटा जागिरको हिसाबले के हुन्छ नि होइन जागिर होइन त्यो सेफ प्लेइङ इट सेफसँगै मैले जोड्न खोजिरहेको कि होइन What is safe?
So I'll start with तपाईँले अघि अन्टरप्रेन्योरसिप भन्नुभयो नि सो त्यो चाहिँ ब्युरोक्रेसीमा पनि लागु हुन्छ क्या सो दिस टु वर्ड्स क्रिएटिभिटी एन्ड रिस्क टेकिङ होइन सो लगभग 2 वर्ष जति चाहिँ विदिन द गभर्मेन्ट एज अ कन्सल्टेन्ट इन्भेस्टमेन्ट बोर्डमा स्पेसली यो एफडिआई ल्याउने र पब्लिक प्राइभेट पार्टनरसिप प्रोजेक्ट्समा काम गरेँ होइन सो एक्चुली ब्युरोक्राट भएर त होइन तर क्लोजली काम गरेँ त्योभन्दा अगाडि अघि भन्नुभएको जस्तो फेलोसिप गरेँ एउटा एकजना फर्मर प्राइम मिनिस्टरसँग मेरो लागि चाहिँ गभर्मेन्टसँग नजिक भएर काम गर्नु वाज अ नो ब्रेनर किनभने मेरो बुवा आमा दुवैजना गभर्मेन्ट सर्भिसमा हुनुहुन्छ होइन गभर्मेन्टभित्र पनि कस्तो छ भने देयर आर अल सर्ट्स अफ पिपल होइन कोही मान्छे चाहिँ अब लाइफ डेडिकेट गर्नुभएको छ होइन फुल्ली काम गर्नुभएको छ अब त त्यसलाई सेफ पनि भन्दैन कि जस्तै कसैले चाहिँ देयर आर फ्यु पिपल जसले थोरै मात्रै भए पनि अलिकति ल यो पोलिसी चेन्ज गरौँ अथवा आफूभन्दा आफूले जो रिपोर्ट गर्ने जो पोलिटिसियन एज अ मिनिस्टर भएर आउनुहुन्छ उहाँहरूलाई अलिकति भए नज गरेर चाहिँ यो चेन्ज ल्याउनु त भन्ने खालको त्यो रिस्क टेकिङ र क्रिएटिभिटी जसले देखाउनुहुन्छ नि अथवा अन्टरप्रेन्योरसिप देखाउनुहुन्छ नि त्यस्तो मान्छे पनि हुनुहुन्छ होइन तर मेजोरिटी अब कस्तो खालको सिस्टम हुँदै गइसक्यो भने त्यो नगर्ने होइन जे छ त्यही मान्ने जे भनेको छ देन ल हुन्छ भन्ने खालको सो मेजोरिटी त्यसले डोमिनेट गरेको हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ अलिकति ब्युरोक्रेसीमा चाहिँ यो प्लेइङ इट सेफ भन्ने खालको गा हो तर आई बिलिभ देयर आर स्टिल पिपल जसले चाहिँ अलिअलि च्यालेन्ज गर्नुहुन्छ होइन त्यो यो फरक यसरी गरौँ न भन्ने तर अब इट हेज कन्सिक्वेन्सेस फर देम होइन अब सरुवा होला कहीँ गएर चाहिँ उहाँहरू अब राम्रो ठाउँमा नबस्नु होला सधैँ नराख्दैलान् होइन जगेडामा राख्ने भन्नुहुन्छ नि होइन कुन चाहिँ मन्त्रालयमा गएर अतिरिक्तमा राखिदिनु भने त्यस्तो हुन्छ तर आई थिङ्क देयर आर पिपल एज वेल विदिन द ब्युरोक्रेसी
म नाम लिन्न होइन मैले केही दिन अगाडि एउटा भिडियो हेरेको थिएँ कि उहाँले के भन्नुभएको थियो भने नि होइन ए बाबा म छु त गार्जियन बस्या छु त म होइन कसैलाई गाह्रो पऱ्यो भने म छु त होइन अर्गनाइजेसन छ नि त होइन यो आइम टकिङ अबाउट द गभर्मेन्ट होइन म छु नि गभर्मेन्ट छ नि हामी हेर्दैनौँ होला यार हामी गार्जियन बसेका छैनौँ होला भनेर उहाँले भन्नुभएको थियो कि होइन अब कतिजनाको यसमा अब त्यो अगेन कसैले के भनिसकेपछि 50-50 हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई होइन मलाई त्यो ठिकै लागेको थियो कि उहाँले भनेको कुरा कि अरे बाबा गभर्मेन्टको काम त गार्जियन हो नि त नि हेरिदिने हो नि त माथि बसेर होइन कि गाह्रो पऱ्यो भने म छु है हामी छौँ है तपाईँहरू सबैजनाले होइन इक्वली हुन्छ नि होइन अब बिजनेसेसलाई दिँदाखेरि अथवा इन्डिभिजुअल्स होइन सेम अब म सबैलाई एउटै बोटमा अहिले राख्छु है योर पर्सनल अर्गनाइजेसन्स साइड होइन कोही व्यक्तिले होइन कोही व्यापार सुरु गर्न लागेको छ भने होइन तपाईँहरूले पनि त एक हिसाबले म यो गार्जियन भन्ने शब्द युज गर्छु है त्यो गार्जियनको रूपले त हेर्नुहुन्छ होला नि त होइन कि हामीले तपाईँलाई केही दिँदैछौँ भने होइन फेसिलिटी दिँदैछौँ अथवा पैसै दिँदैछौँ होइन तपाईँले हेर्दाखेरि इन्डिभिजुअली आफ्नो अर्गनाइजेसनमा हेर्दाखेरि होइन त्यो व्यक्ति अथवा त्यो कम्पनीलाई गाह्रो पर्दाखेरि त तपाईँहरू त हुनुहुन्छ नि त होइन हरेक स्टेपमा एउटा बच्चालाई सहयोग गरे जस्तो त्यो कम्पनी 3 वर्ष पुरानो हुनसक्ला त्यो व्यापार 5 वर्ष पुरानो हुनसक्ला अथवा भर्खरकै हुनसक्ला होइन त्यो सबै थोक त प्रोभाइड गर्नुहुन्छ नि त होइन एक्सपर्टिज सबै थोक दिइसकेपछि पनि त्यो सकेन भने बल्ल त तपाईँहरूले भन्नुहुन्छ होला नि त होइन ल बाबु अब चाहिँ यो चाहिँ होइन अलि छैन रहेछ तिम्रो बसमा हुन्छ नि होइन अब म आउँछु है यो कन्भर्सेसनलाई कता लान खोजेको भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ गभर्मेन्टको हकले चाहिँ गभर्मेन्टले दिएछ त त्यो मौका सबैलाई
छैन
लङ साइलेन्स
छैन
सोच्ने बात
छैन किन भन्दाखेरि मैले अघि पनि भने यो कुरा मैले अघि पनि भने हाम्रोमा चाहिँ नि ब्युरोक्रेसीको चाहिँ नि मान्छेहरूमा चाहिँ नि कस्तो खालको मेन्टालिटी छ मैले पाएको मेरो आफ्नो इन्डिभिजुअल एक्सपिरियन्समा भन्दाखेरि एउटा त रिस्क टेकिङको त्यो एप्टिच्युड नै उहाँहरूसँग छैन होइन। अब त्यहाँभित्र पनि अब भनौँ न कामै गरेर पनि उहाँले रिवार्ड पाउने होइन, त्यो रिवार्ड र त्यो पनिसमेन्ट सिस्टम पनि त्यस्तो खालको छैन होइन। अनि धेरै जसो चाहिँ नि अर्डर मान्ने, कसैको चाहिँ अर्डर मान्ने त्यो खालको एउटा मेन्टालिटी अघि मनोजीले पनि भन्नुभयो। र अर्को चाहिँ नि कस्तो छ भन्दाखेरि अब हामी कहाँ चाहिँ अरू संयन्त्रहरू पनि छ नि, जस्तो अख्तियारदेखि लिएर कुनै नयाँ काम गर्नु खोज्यो भने चाहिँ अख्तियारले के गर्ला कि किनभने यो मेरो चाहिँ परिव्यूभन्दा माथि पऱ्यो भने फेरि भोलि पर्सि मलाई अप्ठ्यारो पर्ने हो कि होइन, त्यो खालको एउटा त्यो परिपाटी पनि छ। र अर्को चाहिँ के छ भन्दाखेरि कसैले नयाँ काम गर्नु पऱ्यो भने यसलाई किन दिने भनेर त्यो मैले अघि भने नि आफ्नै चाहिँ गोजीबाट चाहिँ पैसा दिए जस्तो त्यो खालको चाहिँ मेन्टालिटी छ कि। र अनि म फेरि पढाउने मान्छे, अनि त्यो कस्तो हुँदो रहेछ भन्दाखेरि एज अ प्रोफेसर चाहिँ नि तपाईँले कसैलाई चाहिँ सजिलो पास गराउनु हुँदो रहेछ कि। म धेरै जस्तो डक्टरल डिफेन्समा बसेको छु, मेरो काम नै के हुन्छ भने त्यो मान्छेको खुट्टा तान्ने हुन्छ होइन। किन भन्दाखेरि त म पनि त्यही लेभलमा पुगे हो नि त, त्यहाँनिर पुगेपछि मलाई त कसैले खुट्टा तान्दै थियो भने म पनि अरूको खुट्टा तान्नुपर्छ भन्ने त्यो मेन्टालिटी हुँदो रहेछ, टु बी भेरी अनेस्ट होइन। अनि अलमोस्ट त्यही खालको मेन्टालिटी, किन चाहिँ नि म यसलाई चाहिँ सजिलो यो काम दिने होइन। अनि एउटै सानो कामको लागि पनि त्यो बारम्बार चाहिँ अब 10 ठाउँमा चाहिँ धाउन लगाउने या चाहिँ नि कुराउन लगाउने होइन, यो खालको एटिच्युड चाहिँ हामीसँग हाम्रो गभर्मेन्टमा एटलिस्ट हाम्रो गभर्मेन्टमा चाहिँ मेरो आफ्नो इन्डिभिजुअल एक्सपिरियन्स, म त्रिभुवन विश्वविद्यालयमा पनि लामो समय काम गरेँ, त्यहाँ पनि मैले अलमोस्ट सिमिलर टाइपको चाहिँ एटिच्युड, सिमिलर टाइपको चाहिँ नि प्रथा देखेँ। हुन त त्यो युनिभर्सिटी हो, गभर्मेन्ट युनिभर्सिटी होइन, त्यहाँ पनि अलमोस्ट त्यही मेन्टालिटी, अझै त्योभन्दा पनि अझै विकृत मेन्टालिटी त्यहाँनिर थियो। वेयरएज इन गभर्मेन्टमा पनि अहिले यो 3-4 वर्ष चाहिँ नि म धेरै नजिक भएर एउटा लाइसेन्स लिनलाई चाहिँ नि टाउको ठोकिरहेको छु होइन। मैले अघि पनि भने 3वटा अर्थमन्त्री भेटेँ, अब मोस्ट प्रब्ली 4थो भेट्नुपर्छ होला। 3वटा त त्यहाँको अध्यक्ष देखिसकेँ होइन। त्यहाँनिर चाहिँ नि अनि कर्मचारी तन्त्र, त्यहाँको कर्मचारी तन्त्रले चाहिँ खासै त्यो सपोर्ट भन्दा पनि सकेसम्म हडल कताबाट निकाल्ने भन्ने कुरामा चाहिँ नि त्यो त्यतातिर चाहिँ नि ध्यान दिएको जस्तो चाहिँ मैले पाएको छ।
त्यही मनिषजीको कुरा मैले थोरै एउटा जोडेँ होइन, किनभने यो लाइसेन्सको कुरा हामीलाई एकदमै लास्ट फ्यु इयर्सदेखि अलिकति हुन्छ नि यसमै लागिरहेको हुँदाखेरि, जस्तै अघि भन्नु नि गार्जियन छ म गर्छु भन्छ, जस्तै बजेटमै लेखाएको छ, विल त्यहाँ पुरै लेखाएको छ के भन्छ यो वर्ष चाहिँ प्राइभेट इक्विटी भेन्चर क्यापिटललाई अपरेट गर्न दिने भनेर होइन। अब देऊ नि त हामी त मेक अ डिसिजन होइन। 45 दिनमा आउनुपर्ने कुरा 345 दिन लागिसक्यो भनेपछि अझ मनिषजीहरूको त अझै बढी लागेको छ होइन। सो त्यो कस्तो भयो भने अब सबै त होइन तर धेरै चाहिँ अब ढाँट्ने गार्जियन जस्तो हुन थाल्यो क्या। अनि विश्वास नगरेपछि केटाकेटी छोडेर बाहिर जाने थियो होइन।
जस्तो अस्तिको पनि सिएनआई उसमा होइन अर्थमन्त्रीज्यूले आएर राम्रो भाषण गर्नुभयो, त यो त प्राइभेट सेक्टरले लानुपर्छ, सबै गर्नुपर्छ, पूर्व अर्थमन्त्री होइन। तर दिनुहोस् न त, हामी त मागिरहेछौँ, हामी गर्छौँ भनिरहेछौँ होइन। अब मनोजी हामी होइन अब यहाँनिर कस्तो स्थितिमा छौँ भने हामीसँग पैसा दिने मान्छे पनि छ, हामी कहाँ पैसा लगाउने भन्ने सेक्टर पनि हामीले सबै उस गरेर बसिरहेछौँ। तर एउटा चाहिँ नि त्यो लाइसेन्सको एउटा पाना चाहिँ नि नभएर हामी अड्केर बसिरहेछौँ, काम गर्न पनि सकिरहेछौँ।
ओके, ट्रेड डेफिसिट यो भनेको के हो र? आज बिहान हो कि हिजो पढ्दै थिएँ मैले होइन, श्रीलङ्काको प्रधानमन्त्रीले चाहिँ ब्याङ्क्रप्ट ल हात उठाइदिएँ भनेर चाहिँ भनेको चाहिँ मैले पढेँ होइन। यो ट्रेड भन्छौँ हामी होइन, ट्रेड डेफिसिट भनेर भन्छौँ, डलर छैन भनेर भन्छौँ होइन। कुड समबडी प्लिज एक्सप्लेन अ भेरी लेमन्स टर्म वेयर डु वी स्ट्यान्ड अन थर्सडे 7th of July 2022? हामी कहाँ छौँ? हाम्रो ग्राउन्ड कहाँ छ हाम्रो? प्लिज
एज एन इकोनोमिक्स होइन एकदम सिम्पल उसमा भन्दाखेरि जस्तै अब हामीले हेर्ने भने एक्सपोर्ट र इम्पोर्ट होइन। एउटा हामीले के
रिमेम्बर यु टक्ड अबाउट
धेरै एकदम सिम्पल उसमा नभइकन हामीले के इम्पोर्ट गरिरहेछौँ, के कन्ज्युम गरिरहेछौँ, कहाँबाट ल्याइरहेछौँ, त्यो गर्नलाई हामीले के दिनुपर्छ र हामीले के एक्सपोर्ट गरिरहेछौँ। अघि तेन्जिनजीले पनि भन्नुभयो नि वी एक्सपोर्ट नथिङ होइन। अब जे गरिरहेछ मान्छे गइरहेछन्, मान्छेहरूले रेमिटेन्स पैसा पठाइरहेछ, तर त्यो कहाँ गइरहेछ भने मोस्टली चाहिँ इम्पोर्ट बेस्ड इकोनोमी होइन, कन्जम्सनमा गइरहेछ। अनि जस्तै अब हामीले जस्तै अहिले अब डलरको यो के कसो भन्ने कुरामा चाहिँ अब लगभग 8-9 महिना जतिलाई धान्न सक्ने फरेन करेन्सी रिजर्भ युजली हुने गर्छ होइन। तर त्यो बिस्तारै अहिले डिप्लिट हुँदै 7 महिना 6 महिना अब 6 महिना गइसक्यो होइन। अब त्यो अलिकति डर, अब हामीले चाहिँ त्यो धान्नै सक्दैनौँ कि हामीसँग पैसै हुँदैन कि भन्ने खालको डर हो, त्यो चाहिँ छ। अर्को कुरा एक्सपोर्ट र इम्पोर्ट हेर्नुभयो भने लगभग 2001 पछि चाहिँ कस्तो भयो भने कुनै देशले एकदमै राम्रो गरे, जस्तै बङ्गलादेशले स्पेसली फ्यु सेक्टर्समा फोकस गरेर, जस्तै गार्मेन्ट जस्तो सेक्टरमा फोकस गरेर उनीहरूले राम्रो लिप लिए। तर हामी के भयो भने हामीलाई जुन फेसिलिटिजहरू अभाइलेबल थियो त्यो चाहिँ हामीले युज गर्न सकेनौँ। त्यही भएर ओपन त गऱ्यौँ, हामीले ओपन गऱ्यौँ, तर हामीले इन्टरनली केही बिल्ड गर्न सकेनौँ, केही बनाउन सकेनौँ होइन, वर्ल्ड ग्लोबल मार्केटलाई चाहिने ग्लोबल भ्यालु चेनमा चाहिँ कन्ट्रिब्युट गर्न सक्ने। तर अब हामीले लिन चाहिँ लिइराख्यौँ होइन। सो त्यो हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ सो लगभग अब हामी कहाँ छौँ भन्दाखेरि अब ठ्याक्कै आजको यो टाइममा चाहिँ ठ्याक्कै भन्न सकिन्न, तर हामी चाहिँ अलिकति सोच्नै पर्ने ठाउँमा छौँ।
कता जाँदैछौँ त त्यसमा, त्यो हेर्नु नि त, त्यो सोचौँ त त्यसमा।
अब यसमा म धेरै अब नेगेटिभ तरिकाले चाहिँ सोच्न चाहन्न, किनभने एकदमै इट्स अल अबाउट अब हामी पोजिटिभली नै काम गर्ने भनेर गरे हो होइन। अनि डिफिकल्ट छ, तर आई थिङ्क त्यो हामी धान्नै नसक्ने गर्ने नसक्ने अवस्थामा चाहिँ होइन जस्तो लाग्छ होइन। त्यो पोजिटिभ डिरेक्सनमै मुभ भइरहेछ
होइन। यसलाई क्ल्यारिटी ल्याउन अलिकति होइन, क्ल्यारिटी ल्याउनुपर्छ यो कुरालाई होइन, यो कुरालाई। यु गेटिङ इन्टु इट, या गो फर इट।
We are definitely not heading to Sri Lanka.
There you go.
Definitely not.
We are very clear on that. The phenomenon that Nepal is going through right now, a lot of global economies are going through right now. तपाईँको के भयो, कोभिड आयो, एकदम सिम्पल। अब ट्रेड डेफिसिट भनेको कन्ट्रीमा कति पैसा आइरहेछ, कन्ट्रीबाट कति पैसा पठाइरहेको छ, त्यसको तपाईँको सरप्लस भयो भने हामी ट्रेड सरप्लस हुन्छौँ, त्यो घटेको हो भने ट्रेड डेफिसिट हुन्छ होइन। के भयो भने तपाईँको कोभिडले हिट गर्यो, कोभिडले हिट गरेर ग्लोबल सप्लाई चेन हिट भयो, डिमान्ड सप्लाईको पुरा मिसम्याच भयो, डिमान्ड लाइक वात्तै बढ्यो, वात्तै बढ्यो, सप्लाई चाहिँ वात्तै घट्यो, बिकज all the governments were pouring in money. Like US was printing $40 billion every month and giving it to the citizen बसी हुँदा त्यसको स्प्लस त दुनियाँभर भइहाल्छ। त्यसले गर्दा all the prices, basic commodity prices, metal भयो, कपर, एल्युमिनियम यताउति, जसमा which people buy for industrial use, which हामीले जे पनि आजको दिनमा आफ्नो सामानहरू किन्छौँ त्यसमा केही न केही त्यो छ कनेक्टेड। सो global prices went up to the tune of 100% होइन। So what happened was country like Nepal or like other countries which were like import based economy, तपाईको भोल्युममा त्यति रह्यो तर रेभेन्यू इन टर्म्स अफ अमाउन्ट तपाईको सट्टै बढेर वी वेन्ट इन अ सिचुएसन जहाँ चाहिँ हामी 9 महिनादेखि वी आर एट 9.5 months अफ फरेन करेन्सी रिजर्भ जुन हामीसँग छ त्यो हामी 6 महिनामा गयो होइन। बिकज तपाईँको अनि एफडिआई पनि तपाईँको सरी यो टुरिस्ट पनि आइरहेको थिएन नेपालमा, अनि तपाईँको फेरि हाम्रो लेबर्स अल्सो नट गोइङ आउट, त्यसले गर्दा तपाईँको सिचुएसन भएको यो। तर सेन्ट्रल ब्याङ्क वाज लिटल प्रोएक्टिभ, अनि now it is like slowly steadily I think it should come back in fold because commodity prices have started going down, inflation को कुरा गरिरहेका छौँ होइन, recession को कुरा गरिरहेका छौँ, तर we are not heading Sri Lanka way, तर we cannot comfort ourselves like that के भइरहेछ। सञ्जय नेपालको इकोनोमी इज ग्रोइङ, मैले भने तपाईँको अब इकोनोमिक साइज ठुलो भइरहेको छ, तर हामीसँग वी डोन्ट हेभ एभेन्युज टु फन्ड टु बी एबल टु किप द पेस अफ द्याट ग्रोथ के। सो अब हाम्रो गभर्मेन्टले के गर्छ त्यसलाई खुम्चिन खोजिरहेको, त्यो खुम्च्यो भने देन वी विल डेफिनेटली गो इन्टु अदर साइड विच माइट बी रिसेसन और विच माइट बी भोलि के भन्दा कि नेपालको सिचुएसन नहोस् त्यस्तो पनि हुनसक्छ। सो वी हेभ टु बी माइन्डफुल द्याट नेपालको एस्पिरेसन बढिरहेछ, वी आर ग्रोइङ एज अ कन्ट्री, आवर जिडिपी ग्रस डोमेस्टिक प्रोडक्ट इज ग्रोइङ 37 बिलियनमा छु, अनि वी निड मोर मनी इन्टु द कन्ट्री सो द्याट वी आर एबल टु फुलफिल दोज एस्पिरेसन्स होइन। त्यसको लागि simply we should let foreign what is the currency come into Nepal and make like and compete with like other economies के पैसा तपाईँ लिएर आउनुहोस्, हामी तपाईँले राम्रो ग्रोथ र त्यो दिन्छौँ, तपाईँ आफ्नो पैसा लिएर जानुहोस्, त्यो मात्रै हामीले गर्न सक्यो भने we will be prosperous।
यसको डर किन, डर के त मेन डर चाहिँ त्यो नगर्नलाई चाहिँ किन त अहिले
डर?
why aren't we doing it?
पर्सेप्सनको डर छ मेरो हिसाबले।
अब म यसमा अलिकति थप्छु फेरि त्यही ब्याक टु प्राइभेट इक्विटी भेन्चर क्यापिटल विथ द सेम एक्जाम्पल। संसारमा चाहिँ 2021मा चाहिँ $645 बिलियन चाहिँ प्राइभेट इक्विटी भेन्चर क्यापिटल स्पेसमा इन्भेस्टमेन्ट भयो, न्यू कम्पनीजहरू, ग्रोथ स्टेजको कम्पनीहरू, स्टार्टअप होइन, 645 बिलियन। इन्डियाको चाहिँ नि तपाईँ रेकर्ड हेर्नुहुन्छ भने 77 बिलियन त लास्ट इयर मात्रै उनीहरूले बाहिरबाट चाहिँ पैसा लिएर आए, $77 बिलियन इन द फर्म अफ प्राइभेट इक्विटी भेन्चर क्यापिटल।
दिस इज जस्ट इन्डिया?
Just India. 65% of their FDI is basically come through private equity venture capital. होइन, अब हामीलाई चाहिँ यहाँ लाइसेन्स दिइरहेको छ।
यसमा म दाइलाई क्वेसन गरिहाल्छु होइन, यसमा के भन्छ एनआरआईहरू पनि पर्छन् यसमा?
एक्ज्याक्टली,
सबै पर्छन्
एक्ज्याक्टली।
ओके,
बिग इन्भेस्टर्स, एनआरआई, डेभलपमेन्ट फाइनेन्स इन्स्टिट्युसन, ब्याङ्क्स, all these sectors basically contributed almost 65% of the FDI in India through private equity venture capital. Bangladesh, almost 55% of the investment that happens in Bangladesh स्पेसली थ्रु एफडिआई इज थ्रु प्राइभेट इक्विटी भेन्चर क्यापिटल होइन। अहिले पनि हाम्रो देशमा कुनै मान्छेले चाहिँ लगानी गर्न आउँछ, कुनै इन्डिभिजुअलले लगानी गर्न आउँछ, कुनै कम्पनीले लगानी गर्न आउँछ भने खालि 2 किसिमले मात्रै लगानी गर्छ। कि चाहिँ नि उसको सेक्टरमा लगानी गर्छ, म चाहिँ सिमेन्ट फ्याक्ट्री राख्छु किनभने मेरो पनि सिमेन्ट फ्याक्ट्री छ अरू देशमा भनेर त्यो एउटा स्ट्राटेजिक उसमा आउँछ, या चाहिँ नि सधैँ सहायता, नेपाल चाहिँ एकदम राम्रो देश हो, मैले केही चाहिँ नि सानो सहयोग गर्नुपर्छ यो देशलाई भनेर त्यो हिसाबले आउँछ होइन। लगानीकर्ता बाहिरतिर कसरी आउँछ भन्दाखेरि बेसिकली चाहिँ अभियसली एज अ इन्भेस्टर अभियसली आई वान्ट प्रफिट्स होइन, त्यो एउटा रिटर्न। र अब अघि रोहितले पनि भनिसक्यो कि एज अ फ्रन्टियर मार्केट हाम्रो रिटर्न इज भेरी गुड। एउटा चाहिँ नि बिजनेसम्यान, उहाँहरू जस्तो बिजनेसम्यान चाहिँ तपाईँको 13-14% चाहिँ ब्याङ्कलाई इन्ट्रेस्ट रेट तिरेर दे आर मेकिङ फ्यान्टास्टिक प्रफिट।
आफै बुझ्नु पऱ्यो त्यसको
आफै बुझ्नु पऱ्यो द रिटर्न इज होइन, भन्नाले देयर इज अ रिटर्न, देयर इज अ मार्केट होइन। त्यो त्यसपछि अर्को कुरा चाहिँ नि कुनै पनि इन्भेस्टर त्यसै इन्भेस्ट गर्न आउने होइन नि त। बेसिकली दे निड फन्ड म्यानेजर लाइक अस हु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड दिस मार्केट, हु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड वेयर टु इन्भेस्ट होइन, त्यसरी आउने हो नि त। तर अब हामीलाई चाहिँ नि हात बाँधेर यहाँ राखिरहेको छ।
जस्तै मनिषजीले भन्नुभएको कुरामा चाहिँ त्यो कुन मोडल हो नि त फन्ड त, जस्तै एफडिआई चाहिँ प्राइभेट इक्विटी थ्रु आउँछ भनेपछि त्यो भेहिकल चाहिँ पिभिसी प्राइभेट इक्विटी भेहिकल भयो भने सजिलो हुने भयो कि होइन। रादर देन यो एउटा प्रोजेक्टमा लगानी गरेँ, अलिकति पैसा थप्छु, फेरि अप्रुभल लिनु पऱ्यो होइन। सो त्यो आउन सक्ने भेहिकल चाहिँ सजिलो बनाइदिनु पऱ्यो, अनि त्यहाँनिर चाहिँ प्राइभेट इक्विटी भेन्चर क्यापिटलले चाहिँ सजिलो त्यो रोल खेल्न सक्ने चाहिँ त्यहाँनिर हो कि।
What do the companies that you represent within Himalayan, what's their perspective on this as well? If you want to add to this.
I think Manish, sorry about ekdam right ho haina. Whenever someone is entrusting you with the money, we as all of us as fund managers, we feel that trust, because we have that, we carry that shoulder, that responsibility, that we use that fund in the wisest way possible. So whenever someone is trusting us with the money, it's because we have that capacity to utilize that. We have that capacity to identify sectors, not only sectors, companies that can put those money to the best use. Productive sector ma jaos bhanne hamro objective ho हैन। र as finance guys we make sure that whatever जुन पैसा चाहिँ बाहिरबाट आइरहेछ or तपाईँको प्राइभेट सेक्टरबाट आइरहेछ, तपाईँको इन्स्टिट्युसन सेक्टरबाट आइरहेछ, द्याट गिभ्स द म्याक्सिमम आउटपुट टु द नेपालिज इकोनोमी एज अ होल।
यसैमा एड गर्दाखेरि एनआरएन्सहरूको के छ थट प्रोसेस? मैले यो स्पेसिफिक क्वेसन चाहिँ डक्टर साहबलाई सोद्धाखेरि होइन, मनिष के छ एनआरएन्सले के भन्छ त्यो उनीहरूको त्यो थट प्रोसेस के छ? एनीबडी क्यान जम्प इन्टु, टेन्जिन यु क्यान जम्प इन्टु दिस एज वेल।
जस्ट म अलिकति भन्छु, डेफिनेटली एनआरएन अल्सो आर इन्ट्रेस्टेड इन इन्भेस्टिङ।
ठुलो छ नि त नेपाली डायस्पोरा
होइन, डायस्पोरा पनि ठुलो छ, अभियसली क्यापेसिटी सानो होला किनभने हामी कहाँ अझै पनि बिलियनर एनआरएनहरू त्यति धेरै हुनुहुन्न। तर अभियसली त्यो सानो पैसा पनि एउटा राम्रो साइजेबल अमाउन्ट चाहिँ हामीले लिएर आउनुपर्छ होइन। तर त्यसमा पनि अब च्यालेन्जहरू छ। अब वान अफ द ठुलो च्यालेन्ज भनेको अब कहाँबाट इन्भेस्ट गर्ने, उनीहरू आएर चाहिँ नि के अरे आफ्नो चाहिँ नि के अरे भनौँ न आफ्नो के अरे साथीको मार्फत या अहिलेसम्म त्यसरी नै आएको छ होइन, त्यो सानो मात्र आएको छ होइन। त्यही भएर चाहिँ त्यसलाई च्यानल गर्ने सक्ने चाहिँ नि एउटा फन्ड म्यानेजर छैन, एउटा कुरा। दोस्रो कुरा चाहिँ हामीलाई कहाँनिर मार परिरहेको छ भन्दा त्यो त्यसमा हामी काम पनि गरिरहेछौँ अहिले। एउटा चाहिँ नि कस्तो भने म चाहिँ नि कुनै एउटा सपोज एउटा हाइपोथेटिकल हेर्छु, म चाहिँ एउटा अमेरिकन भएँ, एज अ नेपाली अमेरिकन म चाहिँ नेपालमा इन्भेस्ट गर्न चाहन्छु। फर्स्ट मैले चाहिँ कुनै पनि एउटा फन्ड म्यानेजरलाई चाहिँ नि देखेको छैन वेयर आई क्यान बेसिकली च्यानल माई मनी। दोस्रो कुरा चाहिँ नि म एज अ अमेरिकन सिटिजन, नेपाली भए पनि अमेरिकन सिटिजन भएपछि चाहिँ नि आई हेभ टु बियर ट्याक्सेस। मेरो यहाँ इन्भेस्टमेन्टले यहाँ पनि ट्याक्स तिर्नुपर्छ र अनि हामीसँग अमेरिका या धेरै जस्तो देशसँग हामीसँग चाहिँ यो डबल ट्याक्सेसन, यो अभोइडेन्स ट्रिटी भन्ने होइन अग्रिमेन्ट भन्ने छैन। त्यसको कारणले गर्दा चाहिँ नि त्यो ट्याक्स धेरै तिर्नुपर्छ। मैले जति लगानी गरेँ त्यति मात्र रिटर्न हुने भयो कि त्यो रिटर्न चाहिँ नि त्यो ट्याक्स तिरेर भ्याइने भयो होइन। त्यही भएर चाहिँ नि 2-3वटा चाहिँ यस्तो हडलहरू छ जुन चाहिँ नि अब हाम्रो सरकारले खोलिदिनु पर्ने स्थिति छ।
मैले त्यसमा जस्तै ठुलो जस्तै ठुलो प्रब्लम चाहिँ देखाएको छैन एनआरएनहरूले इन्भेस्ट
छैन भने कि
छैन। अब अलिकति फरक जस्तो लाग्ला, जस्तै ट्याक्सेसनको होला। तर जस्तै यदि नेपाली कोही आएर यहाँ इन्भेस्ट गर्न चाहन्छ भने यदि ठुलो पैसा छ भने त त्यति गाह्रो छ र जस्तो लाग्छ किनभने यहाँ गरि नै रहनु भएको छ यहाँ होइन गर्नेले चाहिँ त्यो भएर अलिकति फरक चाहिँ तर अब मेन कुरा के हो भने यहाँ नेभिगेट गर्ने चाहिँ प्रोफेसनल्सहरूलाई गाह्रो छ किनभने थोरै पैसा म्यानेज गर्नलाई आफूले गाह्रो छ त्यसको लागि चाहिँ अब त्यही फन्डहरू कन्सेप्टहरू हुनसक्ला तर जस्तै अब सेक्टर्स वाइज राइट यहाँ लोकल पार्टनर्सहरू भयो भने चाहे त्यो इन्टरनेसनल इन्भेस्टर्सलाई होस् अथवा होइन एनआरएनलाई होस् त्यो चाहिँ अलिक सजिलो
यसमा म है मैले एकदम थोरै पढेर मात्र हुन सक्ला यो होइन कसैले पैसा ल्याउन खोजेको थियो केही समय अगाडि त्यो पुरै चर्चामा आएको थियो नि त्यो कुरा होइन यो कति करोडको कुरा थियो फाइन आउट त कति करोडको पो कुरा थियो कसैलाई थाहा छ भने जस्ट इफ यु क्यान टक अबाउट इट होइन कति पो करोडको कुरा थियो डिटेलमा जानु परेन तर त्यो व्यक्तिले पैसा ल्याउँदाखेरि अब त्यो मलाई डिटेलमा थाहा छैन तर केही न केही भएको थियो त्यतिखेर खुब हल्ला भएको थियो त्यतिखेर होइन एउटा व्यक्तिले पैसा ल्याउन खोज्दाखेरि कमिसन खै के थियो तर केही न केही थियो
त्यसको त्यो अब त्यो सोर्सको कारणले होइन किनभने जस्तै अहिले नेपाल चाहिँ हामी आई थिङ्क अब सेन्ट्रल ब्याङ्कको तर्फबाट हेर्दाखेरि यो एएमएल सिएफटी एन्टी मनी लन्ड्रिङ र काउन्टर फाइनेन्स टेररिजममा चाहिँ युजली त्यो रिभ्यू भइरहन्छ है कति वर्षमा नेपालको 2022मा रिभ्यू छ भनिसकेपछि यदि त्यो पास भएन भने अलिकति गाह्रो हुने यो ट्रेडमा पनि कस्टहरू बढ्ने हुन्छ होइन सो अब सेन्ट्रल ब्याङ्कको तर्फबाट त्यसलाई चाहिँ अलिकति टाइटली हेरिरहेको चाहिँ अवस्था छ त्यो हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ त्यो ठ्याक्क नेचुरल्ली चाहिँ ल यो चाहिँ अलिकति सोर्स नभएको अथवा अलिकति सस्पिसियस खालको हो कि भनेर चाहिँ उनीहरूको उसमा पर्या होला तर अब यसको डिटेल चाहिँ अब
वी डोन्ट निड टु गेट इन्टु इट होइन मैले होइन कोही त्यसैले मैले बुझ्न खोजेँ कि सो त्यो च्यानलाइज गरेर गर्ने बित्तिकै त सबै त क्रिस्टल क्लियरै छ त्यसको मतलब अहिलेसम्मको लागि
अलिकति ब्युरोक्रेटिक हडल चाहिँ छ होइन जस्तो हामीसँगै काम गर्नेहरूको एउटा डोल्मा इम्प्याक्ट फन्ड भन्ने ठुलो इन्भेस्टमेन्ट लिएर आउनु भएको छ अब जस्तो उहाँहरूले कुनै एउटा इन्भेस्टमेन्ट कमिटमेन्ट गरिसकेपछि मिनिमम 3 to 9 months 12 months चाहिँ त्यो फाइल घुम्ने होइन त्यो प्रोसेस चाहिँ छ त्यो अभियसली ब्युरोक्रेसी छ त्यस्तो एकदम अटोमेटिक चाहिँ नि होइन पैसा आज हाल्ने बित्तिकै नेक्स्ट डे चाहिँ नि तपाईँले पैसा डिस्पर्स गर्ने स्थिति चाहिँ छैन अभियसली देयर आर सम ब्युरोक्रेटिक हडल तर त्यो चाहिँ बिस्तारै बिस्तारै इज आउट चाहिँ नि हुँदै गएको छ इयर अन
हामीले सिएनएबाट बारम्बार सरकारले त्यही भनेको छ अटोमेटिक रुट गरिदिनुहोस् न बाबा पैसा पहिला आउन दिनुहोस् त्यसको छानबिन फेरि तपाईँ प्यारलली उहाँले भन्नु एएमएल सिएटिएफ के यो डोनर एजेन्सीलाई नेपालमाथि तपाईँको थुपिसकेको छैन आई बी भेरी फ्र्याङ्क होइन अन्टिल एन्ड अनलेस वी आर डिपेन्डेन्ट अन डोनर्स मनी रियल मनी विल नेभर कम टु नेपाल नेपालमा आजको तथ्य के छ भने एनजिओ पैसा आयो भने 5 दिनमा आउँछ 7 दिनमा आउँछ रियल मनी आउन खोज्यो भने यहाँ जुन उहाँले भन्नुभयो घुमेको हुन्छ कि जसरी डोल्माको पैसा लिनुहोस् न दे हेभ लाइक इन्भेस्टेड इन दे आर क्रेडिबल इन्स्टिट्युसन हेभ बिन इन्भेस्टेड इन नेपाल सच अ लङ टाइम तर एनी फन्ड इन्जेक्सन द्याट दे निड टु डु एउटा नयाँ म्यान्डेट दिएपछि कमसेकम तपाईँको फाइल 3-6-9 महिनामा तपाईँको घुमिरहेको हुन्छ इन बाई द्याट टाइम बिजनेस माइट सर्भाइभ माइट नट सर्भाइभ आजको टाइममा इफ बिजनेसमा राइट टाइममा क्यापिटल गएन भने वी आर लाइक इन अ 21st century भन्छु नि क्यापिटल पाएन भने त बिजनेस त तपाईँको यतिकै तपाईँको फेल भइहाल्छ
महिनामा पनि लाग्दैन
I think this is not rocket science. It doesn't even have to be a very sophisticated policy conversation. This is very basic. Just there are success stories around the world. Look at London, look at Dubai, look at anywhere, which are major hubs of international economics, right? In all these cities and all these countries, the flow of capital, both in and out, is extremely easy. You can register a company in a day in Dubai. You can bring in money very easily. You can take out money easily. At the moment you bring in certain amount of money, you get residency. Your wife can get a work permit, right? You have a path towards citizen. So in Nepal, none of that is there, basically. None. So we talk about needing international investments. We talk about things, but then we just don't have the environment, frankly speaking, right?
Exactly.
If I was an international investor, I would not want to come in today, as of today. I'm not saying I won't, but certain things will have to meet our checklist before we come in. So we have to be honest with ourselves about that. We know this is a country with huge potential, right? We can do so much, and we can be a very prosperous country. But we have not created a very conducive environment for international investors. I think that we have to start with an honest conversation first, right? At this day, I don't think serious commercial investors will not come into Nepal.
To add on to what Tenzin just said, right? You spoke about NRN. So I was in an annual NRN summit. I was representing CNI there, right? Yeah. Government has relaxed a lot of policies for NRN. Okay, paisa liera aun lagi. Tara, I think NRNs do not have confidence on the government NR economy. Okay?
It's
you also need that confidence. Okay? The government need to go to the key NRN destination and market themselves. We have not been able to market what are the benefits of Nepal to NRN. Then how are we going to market it to other international investors? So Sanjay, that's the basic dilemma that we have right now.
Very true.
आफ्नै मान्छेलाई बुझाउन पहिला गाह्रो छ है त
Adding to that, अघि नै हामीले पनि we discussed that government job is like a safe, playing it safe government job भनेको होइन. So हाम्रो कतिवटा कुरा चाहिँ इम्प्लिमेन्टेसनमा जाँदाखेरि होइन, the people who are sitting there at the ground level or sitting there implementing that thing होइन, उहाँहरूलाई ल रेगुलेसन्सहरू सबै थाहा छ होइन, के हो भनेर थाहा छ, तर किन गर्न खोजेको हो कहिलेकाहीँ त्यहाँ छुट्टिन्छ जस्तो लाग्यो कि, त्यो ग्याप कतै छ जस्तो लाग्यो. दे नो वाट द रेगुलेसन इज होइन, तपाईँको यो डकुमेन्ट यहाँसम्म प्रोसेसिङ गर्नलाई यो डकुमेन्ट्सहरू फुलफिल गर्नुपर्छ भने उहाँलाई थाहा छ, तर त्यसमा एउटा केही छुट्यो भने उहाँले दे जस्ट स्टप होइन. त्यो किन गर्नु, त्यो ल चाहिँ किन बनाएको हो त, त्यो लको अब्जेक्टिभ के हो त, कहिलेकाहीँ त्यहाँ चाहिँ ग्याप हुने गर्छ कि. बिकज we as entrepreneurs, not we, when we say that entrepreneurs need to have passion to do something, to do a business, the certain business that we do, I think government-ma चाहिँ त्यो अलिकति lacking भएको छ, because to be in that bureaucracy, to be in that हाम्रो जुन legislative or whatever, होइन, they also need passion to be there भनेर जस्तो भयो कि.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. If I may just add a small point, because
You can add as much as you want, brother.
you asked this very like hairy question, which is like, what is entrepreneurship, right? Almost it's like a philosophical question in a way, right? So what it's not, and if I were a professor like Manish ji, my opening statement would start something like, entrepreneurship is wonderful, but it's not for everyone, right? If everyone in Nepal, every youth wanted to be a founder, who's actually going to do the job of the service sector, right? So I think entrepreneurship, going back again, this might be repetitive, but in my opinion, it's kind of like a way of being, it's a way you look at risk, the way you look at the world, and not that you're better or worse than anyone, but you're different. I think like genuine, there are people who are very good, quote unquote, like people who are good in particular jobs, right? So somebody could be a very good like civil engineer, right? Somebody could actually be a very good bureaucrat also. But doesn't mean that very good bureaucrat would also make a good entrepreneur, I think the way an entrepreneur looks at opportunities, looks at risk, and then obviously their personality, just because you have an MBA doesn't mean you're built to be an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's very important, because in the heart of hearts, like a lot of how we are as individuals, we are shaped by our culture, our education, and so on, right? And I think what has happened in Nepal, for example, in the last decade or so, there's a positive and a negative to this. The positive is that a lot of people are excited, they want to be founders, they want to build great companies, but it has also glamorized this sector, right? Their role model is like Silicon Valley and India's unicorn. Not that we shouldn't have a unicorn. We'll have billion-dollar companies in Nepal, but we are not quite there yet, right? And I would say that it's not for everyone, right? So the problem is when everyone jumps on this bandwagon of like, I want to be a founder, I want to leave my nice banking job and jump to, be a startup founder. Then the problem is, then we have a problem of quality, I'd rather have fewer good startups that become billion-dollar companies than like so many young people just jumping on the entrepreneurship bandwagon, So I think people who are, for example, in leading educational institutions, business schools, should also have that kind of that deep reflection, like how have I contributed to this, As much as now I heard that, in MBA programs in Nepal, the most famous kind of, there's a specialization, right? Finance, accounting, HR. Nowadays, it's like entrepreneurship.
What's up?
उसको बारेमा कुरा गर्नु अघि मुजाजीले चाहिँ के भन्नुभएको थियो भने जस्तै यो मान्छेलाई थाहा हुँदैन किन यो बनेको भन्ने कुरा. सो आई थिङ्क कुनै पनि पोलिसी किन बनेको भनेको, एन्ड इट्स स्पेसली इम्पोर्टेन्ट बिकज वी हेभ इलेक्सन्स कमिङ अप दुईवटा लेभलको.
Let's just carry forward with चुनाव आउँदैछ बडा. Is that cool?
Yeah, sure.
चुनाव is around the corner.
या सो जस्तो मैले देखेको हाम्रो कस्तो छ भने अब हामी फेडरल स्ट्रक्चरमा गयौँ होइन, त्यो 3टा टियर्स अफ गभर्मेन्ट छ, लोकल गभर्मेन्ट, प्रोभिन्सियल गभर्मेन्ट, फेडरल गभर्मेन्ट. कन्स्टिट्युसनले सबैलाई आफ्नो आफ्नो अधिकार दिएको छ. तर अब हाम्रो कन्सेप्सन के छ भने अब नेता भनेको त्यसले सबै गर्नुपर्छ होइन, उसले बाटो पनि बनाइदिनुपर्छ, मेरो घरमा मैले भोजको लागि बोलाएँ भने आउनुपर्छ होइन. सो त्यो चाहिँ अलिकति जस्तै कसको काम के हो भन्ने कुरा हामी पनि अझै अवेर हुनुपर्छ जस्तो लाग्छ होइन. अनि त्यो चाहिँ अघि गरिरहेको कुरा हामीले त्यो ल मेकिङ, कुनै पनि पोलिसी किन बन्छ भन्ने कुरासँग लिङ्क छ कि. जस्तै काम भनेको यो इलेक्सन भनेको चाहिँ खालि मन्त्री प्रधानमन्त्री होइन नि, यो इलेक्सन भनेको त 165वटा कन्स्टिट्युन्सीबाट चाहिँ त्यहाँको भोइस ल्याउने मान्छे हो नि संसदमा अथवा प्रदेशकोमा होइन, त्यसै त्यो इन्टु टाइम्स 2 हरेक 7वटा प्रदेशमा चाहिँ त्यहाँको भोइस प्रदेश लेभलबाट ल्याउने मान्छेहरू पनि त होइन। सो त्यो चाहिँ कहाँ रिफ्लेक्ट हुन्छ, फर इक्जाम्पल प्राइभेट इक्विटी, भेन्चर क्यापिटल, स्टार्टअप, अन्टरप्रेन्योरसिप होइन। सो यसको स्टेट अफ पोलिसी मेकिङ कहाँ छ भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ हामीले कुनै सांसदलाई भन्यो भने उसले चाहिँ संसदमा गएर त्यो कुरा उठाउनु पऱ्यो कि होइन। अथवा अघि हाइड्रो हामीले के भन्छ सेल गर्ने भन्यो होइन, डज आर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी एक्ट लेट प्राइभेट सेक्टर एक्सपोर्ट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, मेबी नट राइट नाउ होइन। तर सो त्यो चाहिँ इम्पोर्टेन्ट पर्ने। अघि उहाँले भन्नुभएको जस्तै हामीले काम गर्दाखेरि यदि चाहिँ त्यसको कन्भर्सेसन अलिक लार्जर भयो भने, जस्तै पब्लिक कुनै पनि पोलिसी किन आउँछ, कुनै पनि एक्ट किन आयो त संसदमा होइन, त्यसले के गरिरहेछ, वाट चेन्जेस इट, अब इनोभेसनको कुरा पनि आउला, त्यो नयाँ पुरानो के थियो त्यसले गर्दाखेरि नयाँ इनोभेसन के हुँदैछ, वाट आर वी लुजिङ होइन। सो त्यो कुरा चाहिँ म्यासिभली डिस्कस पब्लिक फोरमहरूमा सबैजनाले डिस्कस गऱ्यो भने देन इम्प्लिमेन्ट गर्ने बेलामा हामी जब कुनै सरकारी कार्यालयमा भित्र छिर्छौँ नि त्यति बेला चाहिँ तपाईँलाई याद छ यस्तो खालको कुरा संसदमा भएको थियो नि, त्यसले गर्दाखेरि यो चेन्ज आएको छ नि पोलिसीमा, एक्टमा, हो त्यही भएर तपाईँले यो काम गर्नु पऱ्यो भन्ने कुरा अनि बल्ल बुझाउन सजिलो हुन्छ कि। तर हाम्रोमा त त्यो हुँदैन। अब मिडिया पनि सबै पनि आज को मन्त्री भयो, कसको राजीनामा कसले के गर्यो, सिंहदरबार वरिपरि र बालुवाटार वरिपरि
पोलिटिकली हेभी
भयो नि त। तर रियल हुनु पर्ने त संसदमा हो नि। तर संसदमा बङ्क हान्ने पोलिसी यो एक्ट कतिवटा चाहिँ त्यही पेन्डिङ छ होइन, कति चेन्जेसहरू गर्नुपर्ने छ नि, तर त्यसमा ध्यानै छैन कि, हामीले पनि त्यसलाई प्रेसर गरेको छैन। सो यदि त्यो भयो भने देन त्यसको रिफ्लेक्सन चाहिँ ब्युरोक्रेसीमा होला अथवा हाम्रो कन्भर्सेसन्सहरूमा पनि होला।
होइन, बडो इन्ट्रेस्टिङ लाग्यो मलाई यो कुरा होइन, बडो इन्ट्रेस्टिङ छ। इनोभेसनको हामी कुरा गर्छौँ होइन, म आई इन्डिभिजुअली गो इन्टु योर अर्गनाइजेसन्स होइन टुवर्ड्स द एन्ड अफ दिस होइन, एन्ड राइट एट द एन्ड आई वान्ट टु टक अबाउट 2 स्पेसिफिक वर्ड्स द्याट्स भेरी क्लोज टु माई हार्ट होइन। Rohit, why don't we start with you? Televentures, what kind of companies is Televentures looking for? And if you had to specify, you know, a lot of people are listening right now. होइन, अब कतिजना अन्टरप्रेनर्सहरूले पनि सुन्नु भएको छ होला होइन, मलाई पनि सपोर्ट सिस्टम एउटा भइदियो हुन्थ्यो भन्ने हुन्छ होला होइन। लेट्स स्टार्ट विथ Televentures, स्पेसिफिक अर्गनाइजेसन, स्पेसिफिक companies that Televentures is looking for individuals specifically?
In terms of, जसरी अहिले हामीले कुरा गऱ्यो होइन, स्टार्टअपको एउटा जर्नी हुन्छ राइट। सो वी स्टार्टेड अफ विथ एन्जल इन्भेस्टमेन्ट जुन हामीले जस्तो लिमा गऱ्यो, तर मुभिङ फरवर्ड लाइक वी आर लुकिङ मोर फर growth phase companies who has been in operation for say 3 years 4 years and एउटा जुन बिजनेस मोडल थियो त्यो अलिकति प्रुभ भइसकेको छ, अथवा फाउन्डर्सले अलिकति कहीँबाट पैसा लिएर अथवा आफ्नो पैसा हालेर एउटा त्यो बिजनेस कन्सेप्टलाई अलिकति प्रुफ अफ कन्सेप्ट भइसकेका कम्पनीलाई हामीले हेरिरहेको छौँ। अनि वी आर सेक्टर एग्नोस्टिक। आई वोन्ट से द्याट आइएम लुकिङ एट अ कम्पनी जसले चाहिँ कुनै एन एआई कम्पनी विच इज सल्भिङ कम्प्लेक्स प्रब्लम्स or anything like that. I would like to want to invest in a company, the business that I understand a little, the economics of business. Secondly, like what everyone said, founder I think is 70%, ki we are ultimately investing on the founder and founder ko vision, so a founder out of 10, I'm 10% success rate very not everyone can be a founder or entrepreneur, but I feel like 70% of the weightage has to go on founder, on how is founder looking to grow and multiply his or her business. I think that is a core investment mandate for us.
Fantastic. Mooja, I'll come to you when it comes to Iman. Anything specific that you guys are looking for at the moment?
Well, sector-wise, we haven't defined like you matra hami garcha bhanera, but when we look at companies, we would say we're looking for innovation, fueled by passion, operated by knowledge.
Beautiful.
So there has to be innovation. There must be doing something new. There must be something in the need for the product or the service has to be there, and they're solving a problem in a new way that no one has done before, right? And it has to be solved by passion.
Yeah.
They just not should have, like we discussed earlier, jumped on the bandwagon just to be an entrepreneur, just running a business for the sake of running business, right? They really want to see that happen. They really want to make that a reality, right?
Yeah.
And it has to be operated by knowledge, because when you are an entrepreneur, you have to take care of a lot of things, right? You have to, let's say my mobile business start garna lai. Why mobile specifically?
Yeah.
Because I know the ins and outs of mobile. I know where to get the supplier. I know what the target market is. I know what changes happen, how the customers will react. I need to know the industry well. So I think those are the three things that we would look into.
Nice. That's beautiful. If you want to go ahead and share more on this, Manoj, specifically हुन्छ नि हामीले केही स्पेसिफिक छ भने हुन्छ नि
Sure.
to everybody who's listening.
सो जस्तै अब हाम्रो चाहिँ कसरी फङ्सन गर्छ भने इट विल डिपेन्ड अन द टाइप अफ फन्ड होइन सो विल बी लन्चिङ डिफ्रेन्ट फन्ड्स सो कुनै फन्ड विल बी फोकस्ड अन फर इक्जाम्पल इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर होइन सो विल बी लुकिङ एट इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोजेक्ट्स तर अहिले चाहिँ वेयर वी आर आई थिङ्क इट विल बी अ सेक्टर एग्नोस्टिक फन्ड भनेपछि कुनै सेक्टर स्पेसिफिक हुने भएन तर अघि फाउन्डरको पनि कुरा आयो भने मलाई एउटा कोट के मलाई एकजना हाम्रो यही स्पेसमा काम गर्ने निरज खनाल अन्तरप्रेन्योरको उहाँले भन्नुभएको थियो होइन अनि मनोज यु इन्भेस्ट इन क्यारेक्टर नट कोल्याट्रल भन्नुहुन्थ्यो क्या होइन सो आई थिङ्क त्यो क्यारेक्टर भएको मान्छे राम्रो त्यो हुन्छ नि त्यो डिटर्मिनेसन अनि हामीले अब यही स्टार्टअप फेस्टमा पनि जुनमा इन्भेस्ट गऱ्यौँ नि सम अफ दिस एउटा दुइटा छ होइन जहाँ चाहिँ फाउन्डर्सहरूले चाहे त्यो कोभिड आओस् अथवा जे होस् उहाँहरूले चाहिँ त्यो ग्रिट र डिटर्मिनेसन राख्नु भएको छ कि होइन त्यो पिभट किन मार्केट सधैँ एउटै हुँदैन नि चेन्ज हुन्छ होइन यु हेभ टु एडजस्ट अकर्डिङ टु द मार्केट सो त्यो खालको एउटा त्यो स्ट्रिट स्मार्ट पनि हुनु पऱ्यो होइन सो त्यस्तो खालको मान्छेहरूले रन गर्नुभएको र आइडियली चाहिँ अघि हामीले हेरिरहेको थियो ग्रोथ सेक्टर्सहरू होइन अब चाहे त्यो टुरिज्म होला अथवा सर्भिसेस होला डिजिटल इकोनोमी होला होइन सो त्यो सेक्टर्सहरूमा गइरहेको बिजनेस र आइडियली आफ्नो केही लगाइसक्नु भएको 2-3 वर्ष लगाउनु भएको हामी आएर चाहिँ त्यहाँ केही हामीले सपोर्ट गर्न सक्ने र त्यसलाई चाहिँ अर्को उचाइमा पुर्याउन सक्ने र हामी त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ उहाँहरूलाई ल तपाईँहरूले यो लेभलमा हामीले यहाँ पुऱ्यायौँ अब यु क्यान रन दिस भन्ने खालको हिसाबले त्यस्तो खालको कम्पनी भयो भने त्यस्तो खालको खोजिरहेको छ हामीले
होइन गजब डक्टर Manish, anything specific?
Almost the same. We are also sector agnostic. हाम्रो फन्ड चाहिँ नि बेसिकली हामीले जुन फर्स्ट फन्ड लिएर आउनु खोजेको छौँ त्यसमा चाहिँ नि what we have kind of committed is 20% will go into venture capital, venture space ma, ani त्यसपछि 70 to 80% basically on private equity, which is growth stage company. Ra venture capital space ma pani we are basically collaborating with others. So most हामी धेरै investment now recently we've been partnered with Televentures.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll also do with Adenta, also Upser, other or Televentures. So त्यसमा चाहिँ अलिकति रिस्क टेकिङ एपिट्युड चाहिँ अलिकति त्यसलाई चाहिँ बाँड्न सकियोस् होइन सो द्याट अनि कोलाबोरेटली चाहिँ त्यो बिजनेसलाई अगाडि बढाउन सकौँ सो वी लुकिङ इन्टु द्याट स्पेस
Fantastic. Tenzin, one more time, thank you for making this possible. Right towards the end, anything specific that you're looking at
so
as well?
I agree and disagree with my colleagues here. So far, normally my personal preference is I don't look for particular recipes for anything. I think in my personal opinion, again, could differ with my colleagues here, is see, it depends very much on so many different factors, right? There are certain sectors that actually doesn't have to be very innovative. Again, going back to my earlier point, we have created so many buzzwords around investing and startups, around innovation and scaling. There are certain businesses that are meant to be at a small scale but highly profitable, that shouldn't be scaled, right? If I'm investing in a hydropower company, it is not very innovative actually. What is the innovation? Every hydropower company is essentially built, designed in exactly the same way. The revenue model, everything is same. Basically, when you invest, there's a buyer to buy your energy for say 25 or 30 years, right? So what innovation am I looking for there? I am investing in that sector because it gives me certain predictable cash flow for 20, 30 years, which is very different from startups. Startups are typically on negative cash flow for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. So that kind of balances things out, right? So there is no talk of innovation there, right? So it really depends on a very much kind of case by case basis. And as all my colleagues have said, where I agree with them is I think as most funds at this moment, because PEs and VCs in Nepal are still very new, to be highly sector specific is probably not the best strategy at the moment. Though in the coming years, as all of us, we make more investments, our funds grow, there is no doubt like Manish will have certain specialties, so will Adantya, so will Himalaya. That's just the way as market matures, right? But I think right now, probably, I think my colleagues here will agree, is diversification is probably the right way to go at the moment.
Fantastic. I'll wrap this up, and thank you. I know Rohit needs to really bounce.
No, it's okay.
I'll wrap this up. You're more like last one. के भन्नु मन थियो भने महावीर पुन सर आउनु भएको थियो कि पडकास्टमा होइन अनि again I feel blessed that I got to sit down and have a conversation with him होइन अनि मैले उहाँलाई एउटा इन्ट्रेस्टिङ कुरा सोधेको थिएँ कि अनि मैले कहिले पनि कल्पना गरेको थिइनँ कि उहाँको उत्तर चाहिँ यो आउँछ भनेर कि होइन मैले उहाँलाई सोधेको थिएँ म र मैले सुन्ने सबै लिसनर्सले होइन हामीले के दिन सक्छौँ लाइक वाट डु यु निड होइन इज इट मनी इज इट हुन्छ नि एनी काइन्ड अफ सपोर्ट हुन्छ नट जस्ट फाइनेन्सियल तर अरू पनि हुन्छ नि त होइन हामी के गर्न सक्छौँ त राष्ट्रिय आविष्कार केन्द्रको लागि हामी के गर्न सक्छौँ भनेर मैले उहाँलाई सोधेको थिएँ उहाँले मलाई केही पनि चाहिँदैन भन्नुभयो कि मलाई आइडिया देऊ मलाई आइडिया लेखेर पठाऊ सेन्ड मी आइडियाज आई वान्ट आइडियाज एन्ड एट माई प्लेस हामी बसेर त्यो आइडियामा अझ खोताल्छौँ अनि त्यो आइडियालाई हामी त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ हामी हुन्छ नि होइन त्यो आइडियामा अब के हाल्नुपर्छ त अब त्यो सबै हालेर हामी आइडिया बनाउँछौँ मलाई केही चाहिँदैन मलाई आइडिया देऊ भनेर उहाँले भन्नुभएको थियो कि म चाहिँ बडो गजब लागेको थियो कि अनि त्यो आइडिया चाहिँ सबैमा छ जस्तो लाग्छ कि मलाई again we talked about entrepreneurs innovation we talked about again individually you run organizations again Rohit you run one of the biggest organizations we have in this country one of the biggest companies that we have in this country the idea I believe is the most important thing that's what I feel and I believe that's what the youth of Nepal has as well right and again thank you for supporting ideas if I can say this right here. And thank you for doing what you're doing. And thank you very much for all your time and making this possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, Sanjay, for having
All right, everybody. Thank you very much.
If you love what we are doing, make sure that you subscribe and turn on notifications.
This program is brought to you by Vyas Studios.